Hello cunties and welcome to Ministry of Madness. At this time I am warning you that this is an 18+ channel. People's views are their own and no responsibility is held by the host. So fuckers, get ready or get to fuck. You have been warned and now is the time to leave. Chun.
Good morning. Morning. There's a poll up whether we should read Mountain Steve's uncle's autobiography. Morning, Andy W. I expect people saw the thumbnail. Fucking great. Morning, PTC. I'm not sure how much YouTube is going to like the thumbnail, but welcome to the After Nutter show on this dreary Thursday morning. Pretty chilly. Fucking having to wear an hoodie. Morning, Andy. Yeah, I don't know how many watched Gamers Live last night, but it was a pretty good live, to be honest. Some pretty good discussion and quite funny. So that was a laugh. Jumping on there. You still got me blocked, so I can't see the chat. But after that, I watched, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes of Society, and that was it for me for the night. Morning, Robert. Yeah, it's a brawn distribution warehouse. Yeah. Yeah, see over there's half the Dalek. Half a Dalek. Morning, Lane. Morning, Nutter. Your live was buzzing this morning, Nutter. And it's 12 degrees here at the moment. But I've got shorts on. And I do go out in shorts and an underlayer to walk with dogs. So, yeah, I should have put my hoodie on then, not when I came back in. But yeah, Nutter, had a family visit yesterday, so my auntie just grabbed what was left of my late nan's things, some books and a couple of ornaments and personal little things, and Steve Farthing's uncle's biography was in the bag. And how apt is the title? Look at that title. Look at the title. That's fucking bad. I don't know what to do with it. I don't know whether to burn it on a live. I don't know whether to read it on a live or a couple of lives. Or I don't know whether to auction it off and give the money to charity. Because there can't be many of these about. I don't know. Yeah, weird. Fucking weird. I know, poor Foss. That's what I'm leaning towards, is doing a short of me burning it. You know what I mean? I've got some nice oily Zippo lighter fluid, so I bet it was PTC. Yeah. I should be wearing gloves, but yeah, I think that's a unanimous burn. So I didn't put that in the poll options. I should have done. I'm going out to do some chuck filming later on today, Yogi. I don't know how long the live's going to go on for. My morning runs over a couple of hours max. So, you know, I'm going to go out and do some chuck videos. I might even do the book burning video. I don't know. Yeah, I think that might go down well. And it's a unanimous vote that wasn't even in the poll. So, yeah. Yeah, in amongst a load of old books. So I picked out some books that were printed in the late 1800s and a load of Irish myths and legends, Scottish myths and legends, Welsh myths and legends, and Celtic myths and legends books, but old ones. So they should be a good read. Yeah, I've had some stories about some of the other of them types that were at the BBC at the same time, because two of my brothers used to work in a very, very well-known theatre. And let's just say, you know, a curly-haired dude whose second name rhymes with Flair was an absolute fucking just predatory, apparently predatory on young runners. He would specifically employ young runners at the theatre. So, and that's first hand from my brother. He used to work in the theatre. You know, if you worked on his productions, if you didn't do what he said, then yeah, you didn't work on his productions. It's a simply get rid straight away. No fucking about. But you got to remember, this was the early 80s. So, morning, tight. No, I haven't PTC now. Morning, mate. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do today. I've got some chuck videos to make, so I'll be chucking on the dungarees at some point. I'm going to put out a chucks week, so it'll be 3 or 4 that have already gone up, and I'll be recording a few chucks. I've got my MAGA hat. But I think I will do what have to do what someone suggested, and that's walk around a town centre as Chuck and get someone to record people's reactions. But I could do that myself, but as soon as people see the fucking GoPro on me, they're going to know. So link's pinned and link can go out all the time. Morning, cheeky. Yeah, seeing as I've had a couple of days off of lives, and I jumped on a panel or two. I jumped on Gamers last night, and Gamer was doing his video analysis thing, which I like personally, when people do that sort of thing. I made it pretty clear that I wasn't overly offended by anything Steve said. Yeah, it was nasty, but I wasn't overly offended, but other people will be. I'm not saying I'm conditioned to it, but my whole working life was spent being called all sorts, and so bounces off. He bounces off. Well, AJ. Libertarian, I will be, but no, there's medical supplies. Bloodlines. The amount that's here, we should. There's too much fucking stock here. Takes up half the fucking room. Oh, those is builders next door hacking off. We've got scaffolding up on the building next door. It's all being hacked off, re-roofed, re-rendered. Ready to open as a takeaway. And dead opposite, we've got an old pub that's now surrounded by scaffold. It's having new roof, full new internals. So yeah, only bodes well for me when I come to fucking put this place up for auction, because they're handing out grants like fucking parking tickets at the moment, by the look of it, for the town for regeneration, and I'm right in the middle of the regeneration area, so. But yeah, we've got people hacking off next door. They shouldn't be long before they start on the roof, I suppose. But I think they're getting the worst part done, which is fucking getting about 70 years of fucking render off, which will be 2 or 3 coats. The guy showed me what he was hacking off the other day, and he was having to fucking cut it with a disc cutter first.
Getting up.
Morning.
Morning, buddy.
All right. Yeah, I'm all good this morning. All good.
Sun's shining, isn't it, man? It's always nice when the sun's out.
Yeah, it's actually come out this morning. We've had a couple of days of overcast.
Yeah, and rain.
Yeah, we haven't had much rain, to be honest, only a little bit. So much needed, I think. Much needed.
Yeah, just to cut through that weird stifly bit that's at the back of everything.
Yeah.
I've turned my camera off because I'm skinning up. That's all.
Yeah, no, you're all right. You're all right.
That book I was telling you about, Looking Backwards, by Edward Bellamy.
Yeah.
If you want to know where the world is going, read that book, because so far I'd say probably 95% of what he prophesied in 1888 is actually happening right in front of us face right now, and you can see it. You can literally see it. It's the weirdest book I've ever read. It's a guy who falls asleep in 1800s. The book is a premise of a doctor, family of doctors, and he falls asleep in 1888 and he wakes up in 2001.
Yeah.
To all these new people and all this new society. And the way he describes it in the book way back then is virtually identical to what we know now. Even in name, not just, like a product that looks very similar to broadband or looks very similar to stock exchange, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Is an exact prophecy. It's mental, absolutely mental. And if you want to know where the next round of money is to be made, or you want to know where the next round of society is going to be developed, read that book. It's not been wrong yet in 200 years. It's crazy, honest to God. There's a bit in it where he wakes up and this woman comes along and the family, it's like his granddaughter or something like that, or great granddaughter. And they said, oh yeah, we put you in this room at this age to see if you could survive, and you wake up in this day, blah, blah, blah. And he's walking around the streets and he's going, where are all the shops? This is in 1888.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll have to check it in back chat so I can write it down. Otherwise, I'll forget. I've got a brain like a sieve. But like, when you've muted all, I think you might have lost a bit of your connection there, Paul. Because, well, you're not muted and I can't hear you, so I think your connection might have dropped a bit there. Yeah, we're going back to... Paul said the weather's actually fucking... The sun's burnt off the cloud already. So, I'm going to be a bit chilly, so... Yeah, I might have to wear nipple plasters or something, you know, when I'm out doing Chuck videos. And I think it's a unanimous about burning the book. So I think I'm going to burn the Savile book when I go out to do some Chuck videos. So no, I'll be able to have the camera on the tripod and zoom in, so I'm not too close to it, and set the fucker alight with some light fluid. Morning, man. Yeah, good question that time. Do I want to know what the future holds? I take it day by day. I do, in some cases, like to know what the future holds because I'm a bit fucking anal in that way when it comes to, you know, things maybe 1 or 2 weeks ahead. I like to organise properly, but as for knowing long-term future, not too sure. Not too sure, to be honest. I think if you go more day to day, then you're less likely to be disappointed if you don't reach that goal that you've set. If you're the type of person that sets yourself long-term goals, which I'm not really. I'm not. Saying your device isn't connected, Paul, for some reason. You can hear me saying you're not connected backstage. Oh, you got signal. You got connection now. I think you have anyway. I think. Your connection's not the best, I don't think, Paul.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now, Ministry?
Yeah, I got you, yeah.
New laptop. I forgot to charge it when it came yesterday. So I've just assumed that it was still full of charge. Clearly it weren't. So I rambled for about 5 minutes to myself again. Seems to be my life at the moment.
Yeah,
just rambling on to myself.
Yeah, I seem to be rambling on to myself or a cat.
Well, it's the only one that don't have a go at me, you see. So it's easier to talk to myself than anyone else, isn't it?
Yeah.
At least I look after myself. Yeah, this book, looking backwards, when he wakes up and they're giving him a tour around this New York, they're saying we don't have shops. Everything is done on elsewhere. You just have a little machine in your house and you press what you want and it gets delivered. This was written in 1888, by the way.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, okay, so how does it work with money and what have you? And she went, well, you don't need no money because you don't need to buy anything. There isn't anything to buy. Everything that you need as a human is there from birth. And I'm like reading this book thinking, this is properly cool, is this, if it could really be like this. But there's an element of it that just goes, yeah, that'll never work. That'll never work. And then it's almost like the guy who wrote it got to the point in the book where he was thinking, nobody's ever going to believe this shit.
Yeah.
So he started crafting the end as a way to meet the beginning, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So no matter where you are in the future, comes a certain point in the book where singularity meets, and you can associate it with the past, the future, the present, because it's just common sense the way it's going.
Yeah.
But there's a bit in it that just blew my mind, and it was about music. And he was saying, well, what do you do for fun and things like that? And she was explaining the music scene and everything. And he's going, do you not go to see bands anymore? And she went, oh, no, we're in his house and you flick a button and all these buttons have different types of musicians. And you can press a button and this musician will be in his home playing his instrument, but sending the sound down a tube to your house. And that was written in 1888.
Yeah. And that's
broadband.
Yeah, that's broadband. That's the way it's
and that's the way it's going to go for all musical artists. Anybody who produces music, sings, that's where it's going to be. You're going to be direct into your fans' living room, not via Sony, not via MTV, not via whatever other medium we use to listen to their music. We will be direct in their living room. That's the next bit. That's where it's going to go.
Well, a few of the bands I listen to, obviously to make sort of any sort of decent money, they release their own videos on YouTube, obviously copyrighted and whatever. So to their own YouTube channels, because there's no money in record sales, so they got to tour themselves to death or go the digital route, which a lot of them are as well. There's a lot of artists that do digital gigs already. You just pay for it and it streams.
It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. If you could, if you were Bullet to My Valentine and you've got fans like they have, hardcore, die to the end fans, no matter what record they bring out, no matter what they do, they are diehard fans.
Yeah.
They will pay whatever amount of money you decide to have a private audience with that person to listen to a track that they've asked for. It doesn't even have to be their own track. It can be a cover, but it's the personal relationship that the fan will have with the artist, not via YouTube, not via Rumble or any other medium that says you have to come here to listen to them. That's going to end. That's going to end. If you want to listen to Pop Smoke, then you click Pop Smoke's private link and that takes you to Pop Smoke's studio, his own studio, where he makes music for you, not the masses, but for you. Then Pop Smoke don't have to worry about creating a song that's going to make money. All he has to worry about is pleasing that fan that's in my studio right now. Yeah. That's where it'll go.
Yeah.
Hopefully. And then all the big corporations will start falling away.
Yeah. Hold on 2 seconds.
I talk some shite, don't I? Sorry.
That's all. I just had to give my brother some keys, that's all.
Well, I thought your ears were bleeding.
No. It's stuff like that's interesting because the author, must have had such an open mind and foresight.
Presence.
Yeah, to even think that way and write it down at that time. I know they, a lot of sci-fi and sort of stuff started around that sort of era-ish. But
you don't have to be
published that.
You
was
don't have to be a genius, do you, to figure out where things are going. You just need to understand people and society. That's all you really need to do. The psychology of society will tell you anything. Where there's a book called A Proper Study of Mankind by Stuart Chase. He's like the father of social sciences. If you read that, it's hard to get hold of, because it's like super rare book now, unless you get it like in a reprint. But if you read that, you will see just how society is shaped, and how, because it goes into like the back room, you know, the stuff you never get to see because they're made in rooms with with academics and lawmakers and health care professionals. Those kind of decisions that get made, we never get to see. We just see the result of their ideas. Whereas this, there is no hiding. You can't have an ulterior motive anymore. You've got to be as close to the truth as you possibly can go. Because people are wise now. They're a little bit more savvy, because they have got that ability now that guy had in 1888 to be able to project what's coming.
Yeah.
And they're no different. The guy who sat on his computer in his fish and chip shop peeling potatoes is no different to Stuart Chase, who wrote the book A Proper Study of Mankind.
Yeah.
They're both observers of humans and society. And that's how you learn, by observing what's going around on you, not listening to what people tell you.
Well, I saw a comment somewhere this morning, and someone said they're going to start rolling out the old social credit score thing.
Hopefully. 15-minute cities and social credit score could be the best thing that could ever happen to us, to me and you, the normal people, the ones that don't live in the grey area of, I've got lots of money but I have no idea how the fuck I've got it, or I've got lots of money and I used everybody else under me to get it. They're panicking because they like scarcity. They love scarcity because scarcity puts them in a better bed than I live in.
Yeah.
A 15-minute city and a social credit score eliminates, not instantly, but over time, like that major step, that major building block within society's evolution. This is the foundation of that change. Because once you've got a 15-minute city, you're going to have to fucking fund the thing. Got to, or it don't work. And they're only doing it to get some out of it. So they're going to have to invest in it for it to work, for them to get their thing. But that will be short-lived. Their thing will be short-lived. Because the social system will wipe them out, because it'll then look at them and go, but you didn't socially, responsibly earn that money. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of scaremongery out there because of China and whatever is going on, but that Chinese system isn't a social credit score system. I know they like to tell you it is, and I know they've got a lot of popular mouth boxes to tell you it is, but it ain't. It just isn't. Do you know why there's no Chinese millionaires outside of China? Do you know why?
No.
Do you know why there's no Chinese billionaires outside of China? Do you know why?
No.
Because you can't spend the yen outside of China. You can't take your yen and go on the open market and sell it. So if you're a billionaire in China, you've got 1 billion yen in your bank, you're a pauper when you go to America with it, because you can't spend it. You can't take it out of the country. That's social credit score. That is making sure whoever earns the money under the rule of this country keeps the money in the country. Doesn't leach out to, like we do. We've got a German company that runs all our transport links. Where do you think that £7 million every single month goes? It doesn't go into our infrastructure. It goes into the German infrastructure. It pays for Germans to be able to have cheap transport. The Chinese don't like that. They don't like you earning money in their country, then taking it all so that you can have an house in your country. They want you to invest it in their own country. That's the Chinese social credit system. But all the ones that don't like this, all the ones that want the 98 pence in the pound, They're not happy with the 50p in the pound. They want the 98p in the pound. They don't like it because that puts you, me and them nearly on the same level. Because the value you've got is identical.
Yeah, I've noticed that, you know, I've had a few things delivered. I haven't incurred any, but my brother's incurred fucking charges, extra charges when it comes from Europe.
China.
No, from Europe. So, you know, the UK government are starting to, you know, add import taxes to stuff.
Yeah,
to
but
make
they're only doing it to keep the status quo, not to improve it, not for it to get better, not so that we can have lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of more cheap Chinese goods. They don't do it for that reason. They're doing it because they're protecting their own wealth and their own status. They don't give a shit whether we buy from Wish, Temu, eBay, Amazon, or their own companies. They don't give a shit. They get a cut every which way we look. No matter where we buy, they get a cut. They don't give a shit about what we do. They're just protecting their own standing. That's it. There's a kid somewhere that's about to be conceived that is groomed to be the next Prime Minister of Britain. And there's no you can do about it. And there ain't nothing I can do about it. And there ain't nothing about anybody in this country that is not part of that system can do anything about it. That's their plan.
Yeah. Well, they want us all to be, you know, obedient little bots, I suppose. But you know, in the long term, you can see that they're looking a generation or two into the future.
The record,
you know, trying to stabilize the economy. But whether they're going to get enough housing and level everything up, you know, because they love leveling up. They love to say it, don't they? But
they're all side issues. That's just candy floss, isn't it? No, none of that means anything.
Yeah. No, it's just smoke and mirrors.
What they do, what happen, I don't know how I'm going to say every 100 years because I think this was the last time we did this as a country. Every 100 years, when the threat of dark money becomes too great, they change the economic model completely. They did it with the silver shilling. When our currency was at its height, the reason it was so sought after was because it had a guarantee with it, the Queen's guarantee that coin would be a minimum of 99% silver. So merchants liked that because there was a guarantee behind its validity. But then the dark money got in, the religious dark money, and it is religion, and there's no other part of society that has ever done this and never will do it and has ever done it prior or future. All religion is dirty money. They worked out, a very astute religious sect in London worked out that if they bought 5 shillings and melted those 5 shillings down and added some other metal to it, they could get 10 shillings out of it. And they did this for decades and decades and decades and decades, to the point where spice traders in India were starting to look at the silver money that we have as not what it's professed to be, because they know there's a lot of fake shit out there now.
Yeah.
So the
first thing they would have done is melted it down and separated it, wouldn't they? So they would know.
Well, what we did was we gathered them all up and we hung the fucking lot of them in York, 104 of them. We hung the lot, money lenders. We hung them all because they were the ones that were flooding the market with. They were taking the real silver out back to wherever or whatever other country, whatever other dynasty, whatever else, somewhere else, and kept the fraudulent shillings and sterling for the common people.
Yeah.
They did that and they've done it again. And that's what's happening now. That's why digital currency is coming now. It's already here. It's only going to take another couple of years, 3 or 4 years maybe.
Yeah.
And you're gonna end up, when you go for a job, you're gonna end up dictating to that person what you want paying in.
Yeah.
Not what they say, what you say. Because if they want you, they're gonna have to buy whatever coin supports you.
Yeah. Well,
And they've done that 5 years ago.
Yeah.
5 years ago, the white paper got put out for that. It all got agreed. Every country on earth agreed to it. Even countries that stand there blatantly and in front of your face will say, this is wrong. They all agreed with it because they know the feather in their nest now. In 7 years' time, they don't have to worry about,
No.
And neither will we.
Like you said about the changing the economic models, it's happened all through history, you know. As soon as the Romans left, what happened with all the Roman coinage? It was fucking chopped up into quarters first, and the monetary system was changed. You know, the value of the money was changed. But yeah, I think it'll be. You know, they're definitely trying to make us go digital. They don't want us having any fucking paper cash anymore.
It is the only way to get rid of bad actors out of the marketplace. It's the only way to get rid of your Rishi Sunaks, your Boris Johnsons, your Joe Bidens, your fucking... It's the only way to get rid of these people, because these people have a grip on our monetary policy. Not our money, but our monetary policy, where we can spend it, who we can spend it with, how much it's worth, how much you're worth. The only way to get rid of those bad actors is by having a digital currency, an immutable currency, a currency that cannot be challenged, and a currency that is accepted in India as much as it's accepted in Mexico. That's the only way you get rid of these bad actors. But they are causing such a fucking stink around the fear of it, because they know it removes scarcity. You remove scarcity, you start making headroad into a fairer society, a world society, not an English, not an Irish, not an American, but a world society.
Yeah, Michelle's got it. We'll soon be under the WHO. You know, they'll probably rebrand themselves, but yeah, I've been a firm believer that a one world government's been coming for a long time, since, you know, before the First World War.
All these bad actors have got probably 10 years left. That's it. WHO, WEF, all the world organizations that are now running around telling everybody how this should be and how that shouldn't be, and this is frightening and that's not frightening, and this is a justified war and that's not. They have got 10 years left. They are the bad actors. They are earmarked for sidelined. They're the ones that are telling you that crypto's bad, that 15 minutes dodgy, that a vaccine against a potential death is a dodgy one. They're the ones who are telling you this because they like to keep you where you are. They don't want you peeking your head behind the curtain. Look what happens when somebody teaches you what is going on behind the curtain. Just look at today's social media landscape and have a look at the ones who are trying to show you what's behind the curtain. Look what's happening to them.
They get silent.
As opposed to the ones who are telling you that,
Well, just the amount of time I've been on YouTube, and they are conspiracy theorists. I'll put it out there. You know, big channels, American and British. About 4 or 5 have been completely silenced from all social media. A couple have managed to make their way back, but they're not covering the sorts of things that they were before.
It doesn't infuriate me, but it really does confuse me when it comes to the actual model of YouTube. Is they will allow a guy to go on to a podcast and talk about people he's murdered, but they won't allow a guy onto YouTube who works in an industry that sees it from conception to death, understands it, and contradicts the narrative. I don't understand those two. They can laud a murderer, but a fact finder gets demonized. I don't get that bit. That's my issue with YouTube. When do you become a problem for YouTube?
Yeah.
When you go against YouTube's money-making narrative. I hate that word, but they have a narrative, obviously, and it's to sow fear. Do you know what I mean? It's not anything good. You have to go looking for the good stuff. The shit stuff will be on your For You timeline.
Yeah, definitely.
When do you become that problem?
But things like YouTube, Insta, Twitter, they're just conditioning tools. The more regulations they bring in, they know that most of us will try and adhere to them because we don't want fucking ostracizing from the platform. Because it's getting so. When I was a kid, first computers were around. The Vex Treks, and then the Commodores and the Spectrums and stuff. Nowadays, you see toddlers at 2 walking around with a fucking 10-inch phone in their hand, watching Peppa Pig, not taking any notice of where they're going, talking like Peppa Pig. And it's conditioning.
Yeah, but you have to have it, mate. You can't not have it. It's a fallacy to think that everybody could just be themselves. It can't work like that. If it did work like that,
social media now, it's been conditioned into us that much. We need it. We need it.
We've now accepted social media is as much a part of our lives as a 9-to-5 job. You either want to do it or you don't. You can either make money from it or you can't. You can either flip like you do through work, like you do like through life, I suppose, but it's still a model that's meant to keep you within the boundaries, so you don't move over to Rumble. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're going to have to please you, and they're going to have to placate you, and they're going to have to give you what you really want deep down, because they need you and me more than we need them. But they've sown this weird fucking fallacy that we need the state, we need money, we need social standing. We don't. But YouTubers conditioned us to think that. To get on, you need to be recognized. To get on, you need to make a shit ton of money. To get on, you need to have more women than cars. You need to get on, you have to have not just a car, but the best car. No, you don't. And you don't even get to that point until you're in your 50s anyway. You don't get to understand the value of what's going on around you until you get into your 50s. I'm a firm believer of that.
What is that? Yeah. I've worked and whatever. All my adult life until sort of about 2 years ago now, I suppose.
You watch a generation come and go.
You don't really sort of look at the world. I shouldn't say properly, but you don't really look at the world.
You don't. No, you're right.
Definitely until you reach your 40s, at least, and then you start to sit back and look and watch a bit,
and then you start listening. Isn't it weird? Isn't it weird? The mouth stays shut, but all of a sudden your ears become open, because you start when you get to a certain age, you start hearing the same loop, don't you? It's the same. It's the same human, but in a different dress or a different coat. But you recognise it's still the same human. All you've done is change a little bit. By the time you get to your 50s, like I've seen this before, it were called something else, the way they did it, but the core components of what you've just changed is exactly the same as it were 20 years ago. We watched you do it.
Yeah.
But when you're in your 20s, what do you want to do? You just want to fucking explore, man. Get as much done as possible. Absorb as much of what's going on in life as you possibly can. I don't think there's any really bad mistakes, really. As long as you don't hurt somebody, I suppose. But I don't think you can make too many mistakes in your early 20s. Probably
No,
after,
not really.
or even into your 30s.
Yeah.
Because you got time to see it come around again and then go, right, okay, I understand. I remember that. I'm going to remember that, and I'm going to learn from that. When you get into your 50s, you end up either shouting at everybody going, what are you doing? They've done this before. Why are you following the same thing? And they're going, why are you screaming and shouting at us? Well, we've seen this happen before.
Yeah.
Under a different name. And it's the same scarcity scare. Oh, they've come to take that off you. Oh, they're taking this off you. Watch them, because they'll be stealing this while you're not doing that. And all the while, it's actually them doing the stealing. It's them doing the manipulating. It's them fucking everything up. But they're telling us it's us in our 20s and our 30s.
Yeah.
And it's not till we get into his 50s and go, oh, no, it wasn't us, wasn't it, you fucker? We just did what you told us to do. And now we know why.
Yeah.
Because you don't want me sitting at side of you at that table where everything's equal.
Well, that's it. You know, from our teens through, like I said, through our 30s, what are we bombarded with? Adverts of holidays, cars,
Bye.
party life, clothes. Yeah.
But then if your entire world's social structure is based on money and the ability to have and to get, then that's only right. It should be like that, shouldn't it? And it's worked, to be fair, in a fucked up and weird, psychotic way, but it has actually worked. It has turned us all into consumers. It has turned us into munchers, where we just consume and consume and consume. So it's worked. So whatever it is they do, it works. But now they're changing tact. So there's some people that made us consumers, that molded us into exactly what they needed. They're doing it again now. But the next phase of it is going to be more inclined to be in our favour than their favour. Because without us, there is no them. Without the wheels on the bus don't go nowhere. And we're the wheels on the bus.
Yeah. And I know they like it's like one of their favourite go-tos, and about levelling up. Levelling up to what? Are we going to be levelling up to their standard? Are they going to be levelling down to our standard, or is it going to be somewhere in the middle?
No, the reason why it's levelling, the reason they use the words they use is because when they say levelling up, that allows you to make up your mind what a level is, but them to know what the level is. And that's not the same fucking thing.
No.
The wordsmiths, they use legalese, they use words that don't mean anything. They never ask a straight question, never give you a straight answer. Always ask you a question by asking you a question, or answering a question with a question.
That's the best one, isn't it? Answering
it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. My wife is an expert at it. Have you seen my car keys? Are they in the drawer? Oi! So I asked you if you knew where they were, not where they could be. But they're experts at it. They go to school to learn that. Like I said, there is a child about to be conceived that will be in those life lessons, and we'll have those classrooms, how to use words correctly, how to manipulate humans. And they will be the future prime minister of whatever government. But they're already planned. That's already done. We can't affect that.
No. I can't believe that. We've got no influence on.
None whatsoever.
Our elected government.
I'm so fucking glad we don't. I'm so happy we don't. Because we've got some absolute raving lunatics in society. And they're the only ones we know about. Yeah. There's people running around in these countries that are doing atrocious things that we don't know about. So I'm kind of glad there is a kind of a chosen few that don't have to, that can be that arrogant, that ignorant, that self-absorbed, that narcissistic, that they ignore the chatter of the masses and just get on with what needs doing, whether you get hurt or not, whether somebody comes along and says you shouldn't be doing that or not. Because we'd still be chopping stones up and building fucking dams out of straw if we didn't have that. It's an horrible thing. It's a necessary evil at the moment.
Yeah.
But this next epoch changes it all. It used to be 20,000 humans controlled the world, they reckon. It's now, they reckon, it's only 600. So you do that math, they are diminishing.
Yeah.
We aren't. There's 7.5 billion of us, and now there's only 600 of them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's
their influence is greater. Don't get me wrong. They have a lot more power because they've consolidated from the 2,000 down to the 600. But that 600 will become 100, and that 100 will become 10, and that 10 will then just disappear. And the very thing we've always wanted, and the only thing that humans need, will just run rail shot over them. But it takes pain. Shit has to happen in between time. You have to give up certain privileges. You have to give up the idea of being able to buy a dodgy fucking car that you know is fucking dodgy to save a couple of grand. You've got to do this shit. You've got to help that person that you wouldn't ordinarily help, because socially you're going to be judged. But you're only being judged on doing the right thing. You're not being judged on what your opinion is. I waffled out like a motherfucker.
It's all good. It's all good.
I'm like one of those. I can't remember. There was a toy when I was a kid, and it was a yakka thing, and it was like a head on a spring, and you shook it. It went.
Jibber jabber.
Jibber jabber. That's it. That's me. That's me. I am the original jibber jabber.
Morning, Brian.
Sorry, dude.
So we enjoy, these sort of subjects, and I do as well. And I don't chat about him enough on my channel, really. But it's like you mentioned the book, and there's so many.
Oh, there's millions on there. It's
so
too many to mention.
Are telling what's happening at this particular moment. About one world government, electrical currency. Wait
till we figure. Yeah, dude, this is. You wait until some bright spark comes along and says to every single human on the planet, generate your own energy. Once that starts, then all of a sudden you're energy free, which means you have no liability on anybody to generate what you need to survive.
Yeah.
When that happens, somebody comes along and sticks a little tiny wind turbine outside your house that's no bigger than an alarm box, that has the capacity to make 6, 8, 900% increase in its productivity, so you can get energy instantly, and you can store as much as you want, and you can discharge as much as you want. That's a massive tool in the pocket of us.
Yeah, it will be. It will be.
We will be paying $2.5 grand gross out of a fucking 10 grand net wage just to have the lights on.
Yeah. Well, we've had a few disputes with British Gas. We get our gas and electric from them, and we're supposed to be capped, and that with the estimated bills. Even though I send them in the readings and all, they just taking the fucking piss,
Well, this is a perfect example of what you've just said there. For you, is a perfect example of what we've just spoke about. Shell Energy want to charge my mother £500 a fucking month. My mother's just touching 80. We've just lost my dad. Everything's gone tits up.
Yeah.
And they want to charge her £500 a month for electric. What they're going to do to her if she turns around and says, fuck off? Honestly, truthfully.
Realistically, they'll try and do something, but realistically,
what will they do? Not what you think they can do or what could maybe happen, but what will they do that we know they will do? They will just keep threatening. They can't do anything.
No.
But you, unfortunately, my friend, have to toe the line because you're not protected like my mother is. You've got liabilities that need looking after because they're the number one and number two in your life. They're not in my mother's because she's got protection.
Yeah.
That protection comes about from a time where everybody said, oh, they're changing everything. You're not going to be able to do this. You can't drink whenever you want. You can't fuck in the street in front of anybody. You can't piss all over the copper. To being protected like my mother is. But it's that you've got to do it. Because I'm sure, I don't know you personally, but I don't know if you have any dependents, like a mum or anybody you have to look after, kids, wife, whatever.
Yeah, I look after my missus. So
you've got a responsibility to your missus to at least toe the line as far as you can go without hurting her or without hurting yourself. Do you know what I mean? So there's some painful things, and we know it's wrong. I know for the fact that I don't have to pay for my gas and electricity if I don't want to. I know I can take them out if I want to. And I know I can get somebody to come in and put completely separate meters in and it all be above board.
Yeah.
That's not the issue. The issue is I have a responsibility to make sure that shit that comes to my door, if I do that, doesn't affect my son while he's in his final year at uni. Doesn't affect my youngest son who's in the first year of his uni this year. It doesn't affect my wife. You see what I mean? You have that balance that you've got to do. But so you can't go out and tell everybody, right, get rid of your meters, because you could, because you're within your rights, but you know the shit they're gonna get. And those people, some of those people won't be able to cope with that shit. So rather than you do that, say, right, this is what you do. You go back to them and you say, right, this is how we're going to work from this moment on. Because once you write a letter to those people telling them you're in a predicament with energy and the cost of, they've got to protect you, that system that protects my mum will then become your protection. But unless you fucking do it properly and don't use your emotional fucking attachment to it's wrong, you'll just be fighting the wolf at the door forever.
Yeah. But my missus, disputed the last bill because it had gone up by a ridiculous amount. And they rescinded it. They took, she said, look, we do our own readings as well as having the guys with the digital things come in. So they were just trying it on. They were just taking the piss. They were just taking the piss.
Do you have any children?
Not living at home, no.
So imagine if you'd have taken it to fruition and your wife used. I'm gonna push and say at least 95%. 95% of people who would have been put in that position would have used in the emotional side to their argument to get their way, to prove their point. Now the system that they're arguing against is geared towards that. It's designed to make you flip out, just like a copper's designed to make you fucking lose your shit when he starts talking to you. There are people who can't do what your wife did, and there's a lot more of them than there are of your wife. So your responsibility to society in general, just as that one tiny piece of jigsaw, is to go, yeah, you can do it that way, but this is the better way, because this is the honest way, and there is nowhere else for them to go if you're only using facts. You're calm, you don't need to scream, you don't have to do any of that stuff because it leaves them no avenue out. You've given them no, well, I'm going to put this phone down if you keep talking to me like that. You've not given them an avenue.
Yeah.
But your wife has learned that through either yourself or by towing the line when necessary.
Yeah, she's pretty good at. She's pretty good at pulling up officials on things.
Everybody's got that skill set, mate. Not everybody.
Utilities and other people. She sees a little chink, she'll go for it. Or she thinks they're taking the piss, she'll sit on the phone with them for hours, annoying the shit out of them until she gets something sorted. You know what I mean?
I believe I'm strong enough to take anyone on verbally. And I did the very same thing. It was an immoral debt, completely immoral. And I said, hey, it's not fucking getting paid. They've got something else on their side that I don't have. And that's restraint, the upper hand. When they come to my house, I was exactly the same. I know the chinks, mate. I know how to get them out of my house. I know everything I need to do to stop them getting in my house and enforcing that debt. Problem is, my wife ain't that confident with my ability to do that because she knows prior to when I had that debt, I'd go at you like a saber-toothed tiger. I'd go at you as if I'm going to chop your head off and I hope I'm going to frighten you into submission. Don't work because that's how they're trained to make that happen. And I took a step back and I thought, fuck it, mate. Just play the rules. Hang on. Everything gets slower when you play the rules. And because everything gets slower, you've got more time to observe because you're not in the red mist moment all of the time. And then you start seeing the chinks in their armor. Then you start seeing that 6'4" debt collector that came to my house and started taking pictures of my kids off at walls just to bait my wife. Not to have a go at me because he didn't look at me. I then started seeing the chinks in his armor. And he couldn't cope with civility, knowing your shit, no ums, no ahs, and being polite. It fucked with his head. I mean, it was the nicest thing to watch and more satisfying because I just watched him just capitulate before me. This 6'4", no doubt, fucking rolls around on a mat with other men as a sport. Thought he was going to come in and just intimidate me.
Yeah,
and he did because I played his fucking game.
Yeah, like you said, when you see the red mist, when it comes down over your eyes, there may be a couple there, and you pick one target and fixate on it, and you lose all sense of
don't you?
Normality. You lose all normality. You're in a completely different zone,
and it's what they want.
Yeah.
What's the first thing if a policeman decides he's had a bad day, and he just decides he doesn't like them? And don't tell me they don't do this shit because they do. They've seen some kids that they really want to fuck about with because they can't be asked. They know the words, the body language, and the means to make those ordinary shitty 14-year-old kids turn into fucking raging lunatics. Don't play that game. Then that man stays miserable for the rest of the fucking day.
Yeah.
I'd rather him be miserable all fucking day if it gives him that much pain.
Morning, Queen Bee.
Have to play by the rules, man. You have to read some books that show you how to play by the rules.
Yeah,
not about with coppers because you'll lose every time.
Yeah, I realised that in my teens and up to sort of 19, 20 that the way I was going, it wasn't going to benefit me or improve my life in any way. Being a little arsehole, just going day-to-day cash in hand, and then being an arse at night, you know,
I'm still living
getting
like
off
that,
it and
mate.
drinking and whatever, you know. It wasn't going to go fucking well for me at all. So, you know, I quickly realised that, you know, I wasn't never going to make anything of myself being like that.
No. Well, I was very close to my brother. We have a history like a lot of families, working class families born in and around 60s. Same stories, late 60s, early 70s. Same. We all have the same story, ish. And me and my brother have been close since he was 5 to, I'm going to say 24, 25. We went everywhere together. I looked after him. I took him everywhere with me just to make sure he didn't get in the shit, because he was one of those kids that will always get in the shit no matter where he is in life.
Yeah.
He's one of those bundles of energy that attracts bad energy. And I watched the way his life were going, because me and him are both the same. We book authority, both done army, both been fucking booted out for fucking them off and telling them the bollocks, and we know you can't make us do shit like that. All that kind of. My brother got kicked out for being too volatile, and he went to Ireland 3 times voluntarily.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I saw where he was going, and I can't go that way because it will kill me. So I had to change. I had to just go, look, take it. Fuck me, man. Keep your mouth shut. Get on, learn. And then at some point, fuck knows when it'll be, but at some point in the future, your life will just click. And you won't know why. And you'll have no idea why. And then you'll take stock one day and you'll go, I remember that book. I remember this. And it'll all just start clicking into place that you have to play by the rules.
Yeah. There's probably life moments that made me sort of, toe the line, if you like, work, family life and all that stuff. I couldn't really put my finger on it now, but if I really had to think about it, I probably could think of a couple of moments that really changed the way I was fucking going. Like,
would you have had that thought of that change if you hadn't have done that thing that you now regret? You would never have had that change.
No, probably not.
But then again, in the same respect, when they turn around and say, you know, if you suffer, it makes you stronger, kind of thing. So you look at it as a positive. My wife has never had to suffer in her fucking life as a kid. Do you know what I mean? She's had everything, not given to her. I don't mean it in that manner. I don't mean like spoiled. I mean love, attention, care, commitment from her parents and her parents' parents and her parents, brothers, sisters, nephews, the whole. So they've never had to be strong because they've never had to visit adversity. So I don't know whether or not it's better to have never visited adversity than to have visited it and come out on top, because then that means you're going to have to go and visit adversity again for that tool to become applicable. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Whereas if your surroundings are nothing but 100% geared towards you and your well-being, you never need a tool to move on. You never need to learn a lesson, because there isn't. It's conducive to your development. So there's no lessons to be learned. I'm sounding like right lunatic now, aren't I?
No. It's,
yeah.
Bits of society, like you said, where they're born into a certain way, and their life sort of planned out from their parents know they're going to go to a good school.
Don't necessarily give them the right life, though. Might give them
not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Do you know what I mean? I know for a fact, purely down to what my son does for a living. I know for a fact there are some people that visit your chat, Yammies, Cesspit at one point, Pablo. And if you knew who they were, you'd be like, oh my fucking good Lord, hey, watch me. Because their life, if we were to look at it from the position we are now, looks proper perfect, proper pucker. So then why are these couple of people, why are they in our circle? Why are they at the canteen table and why are they not at the director's table? Because their life at the director's table was picked for them just like ours was. But they don't fit that life just like we do.
Yeah.
So we make common ground. When those two people, those two parts of society come together, then that's an unstoppable force. Because each side has secrets that each side could learn things from. They're the ones telling you 15-minute cities are bad for you. They're the ones that saying a new world order is bad for you. They're the ones saying that. They're the ones who are doing that because they don't want the high table and the low table sitting at the same table. Because in that we all eat fucking pie. We all eat swan then.
Yeah.
We eat processed chicken, they eat swan. They don't want us eating at the same fucking table. So make them disobey. Imagine, right, this is a fucking corker, this. Imagine that if every single car in Britain for 24 hours did only the speed limit, watch them coffers drop. Watch that money disappear. Watch that God they worship vanish. Then what do they do? Then where do they go? We'll lower speed limit. Okay, we'll go down to whatever it is and we won't do anything differently. We're not making any money. Now what do? We'll drop it down to 30. Okay, drop it down to 30. Do you know what? I'm going to give my car up. Now what are you going to do? You know what I mean? We're playing their game.
Yeah, they're trying to force people in Wales. Yeah, they're trying to force people in Wales out of their cars already by most of the urban speed limits now have gone from 30 down to 20 mile an hour in Wales.
Right. Honest question, Ministry, and give me an honest answer. Would you rather visit your favourite town centre that's completely free of transport? That means taxis, buses, bikes, and cars, and only people, grass, trees, flowers, and shops and cafes. Which would you prefer? Be honest.
Honestly, the second option.
What's that? You've got to say it, man.
Full pedestrianisation of towns.
Right, okay. How do you do that?
More green spaces. But then
how
again,
do you do that?
Well, you can't. You need infrastructure to get.
Been doing it for 20 years, mate.
Have a look at people in and out, and to stock shops, you need transport in and out. So there isn't really, the public transport. But they can't rely on public transport.
No, they can't because of that system that we were on about earlier. Because the company that runs our transport system, the biggest one, Arriva, are a German firm, and they get paid 7 million. I don't know if I wanted to say 7 million quid a day, but it sounds ridiculous. So I'm going to say £7 million a year to run a route. But that £7 million of that taxpayer money that we put into it, even people on PIP, the money they put into it, that 90% of that money is going to Germany. It's not coming here. Until you stop that bit, you're always going to have that problem. But they started urbanising the town centres 20 years ago, dude. Yeah. You go to any major city now and tell me that their major historical throughfare for vehicles and buses and delivery vans and all that shit is now pedestrianised. Because it makes better sense. If you want them to shop in it's pleasant.
I'm just saying, close to me, most of Newport is pedestrianised now. Most of Cardiff city centre is pedestrianised now.
There is a flip side to it,
and it
though.
does make it a little cleaner, but you know, yeah, there is a flip side.
The nightlife.
They're not, and of course, congestion.
How do you get rid of? How do you keep the ambience of a nice, pleasant city centre and keep the alcohol under control, the nightlife under control? How do you do those two things? How do you get the best out of them two? You have to shut the pubs down, don't you?
Yeah.
What they've been doing for the last 20 years. I used to be a landlord. I used to own a pub, so I know the game. What have they been doing for the last 20 years? Shutting the pubs down. So the thing that you said you prefer now, that city centre that's pleasant and it's nice to walk through, you can't fight against their attempts at implementing it by shutting the pubs. That's ridiculous. There's nowhere to go now. They can't even go out for a drink in town centre now. You can't fight that because what you want, which you just said, is a nice pedestrianised city centre that you can enjoy yourself in. You can't have that without getting rid of the pubs, without giving people fines for throwing tab ends on floor. You can't have any of that without that.
Yeah,
it's just a smacking face the way they do it.
Yeah, I love Cardiff, and that's probably, I hadn't thought of it before, but that's probably one of the reasons why. Is because you get, it's busy, but with foot traffic.
You've always in. My grandma I never used to think this were relevant when I was younger. I don't know, and I now know why. But she used to say, some people talk out of the side of the mouth. And I never knew what that meant. And then I realised about 10 years ago, if somebody's screaming at the top of their voice that what somebody is doing to me is terrible for me, and I don't know what it is that thing is that is so terrible for me, why are they doing it? They're talking out the side of their mouth because they don't know me. Like they don't know you. They don't know you want a nice, safe, conducive environment in a city centre where you can spend a bit of money and a bit of time with your wife and your kids and your neighbours and fucking all that haffly flaffly shit. They don't know you like that. They're telling you. Now, if you have to go to those lengths to get your point across, then I have to look at the other side of your mouth that's talking. Why are you using such oppressive tactics to tell me that what they're doing is bad for me when you don't know me clearly? So you don't know whether or not you have no idea what it is. And then that tells me that they're protecting something that they enjoy. And what is it they enjoy? That distinction between them and me. I am getting closer to their table and they're shitting it. Because my sons are knocking on their door. They've played the game. They know the rules. They understand. But they're now knocking on the door. And because they're really nice kids, and I mean properly, any parent will say it, but all three of my children are like the perfect humans. They're knocking on the door and they can't help but open it to them because they're too nice. And they know the shit, which makes it even better. But you don't get that if you don't bite the bullet once in a while and just go, you know what? I know it's fucking immoral giving me a £75 fine for driving in a bus lane that I never saw because you purposely made sure that fucking camera were hidden, that was so far away. I get it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't diminish the hatred for that system that I have. But I know I have to pay it.
Yeah. Michelle, see, that's what's happening in our shops being turned into houses. I was in Michelle, see there about shops, what shops will be open. a lot, like I say, I live in a small town, and most of the shops are being turned over to change of use and accommodation. So that's happening
Also,
right in front of my eyes.
another myth that's running riot in this country. That the immigration that we've got is so fucking bad for us. No, this is probably, at this moment in time, I would say now, is probably one of the only moments in our history, in the future, where the missing jigsaw, the missing piece, so to speak, we've just opened our doors to. Because for you to get your perfect town centre, mate, you're going to have food, you're going to have desirable items, but you're going to also have to have items of necessity. Food, drink, eating out, social side to it. We don't, as a country, have a night social thing that is enjoyable from the age of 5 to 95. Our social nightlife is still governed, still run, still manipulated by the Friday, Saturday, Sunday gang. Get as many drinks down your neck as possible for as least amount of money as possible, then suffer for 4 days. They are predominantly still running our nightlives. We need a more Middle Eastern, more Romanian, more Polish kind of vibe towards nightlife, where everybody goes out in nightlife, even the kiddies, and they all go out for a meal at 8 o'clock. That is when you'll get your perfect fucking city centre, mate, when that generation's children settle in and they take responsibility for providing us with a nice family, foodie, cultural way of having a nightlife. Have you ever noticed when you go over the country, their nightlife's totally different to ours?
Oh yeah,
Some of it's way worse, but the vast majority of it seems to be always family orientated. Yeah, I understand temperatures and all that bollocks, but still cultural.
It is.
That for you to have that, we need these people that we're about to let in, that we've now got. Yes, there are going to be some shite amongst it, but believe me, there's shite amongst everything. And again, the ones screaming are the ones who want them. The ones screaming to get them out.
Community's been forced out of us as well. I know there still is some tight-knit communities, but community is slowly being forced off us. But it might come back with the whole 15-minute city thing, which I don't know a lot about. But you know, considering I live a little bit in the sticks, it's a bit, you know, it could be really shitty for me, you know.
Problem comes though, like everything, ministry, when there's like a paradigm shift. There are a group of historical people that can see a way of exploiting the shift versus the people that implementing the shift for the greater good. That'll always be there, but they are now only 600 from 2000. And in the next 10 years, there may only be, 200 of them. Who knows? But it will get to a point where every transaction that's ever done between state and citizen will be immutable, will be impossible for fraud. It will be a clean transaction, so to speak. And a clean transaction brings a clean society. But then you've got to look at law. I don't consider drug dealers criminals. I don't consider drug addicts criminals. I don't consider burglars criminals. I don't consider there are certain crimes that are crimes that can get you put in prison now that shouldn't really, on a moral level, be punishable by prison. Because circumstances.
I'd have to disagree there. I'd have to
No, because
disagree.
environment has to play a big part, mate. You have to look at environments. There are some really shitty, bad people on this planet, but you have to look at environment. If you're a drug dealer, it's only illegal because the law doesn't want you to do it. They can do it. They do it every day with GPs.
They do, yeah.
200,000 people a year die from prescription drugs. I haven't met a person. Well, I don't know anybody who's died from smoking weed. So you've got to look at the laws, and you've got to look at why that particular law is there. And so I don't consider a drug dealer a criminal. It's just he works in a place where it's criminal. But go down somewhere down Cambridge and you'll find fucking over 40 acres of weed growing.
Yeah.
Is that not a dealer? Is that not a fucking, shouldn't they be done for conspiracy to supply and all the other shit that comes with it?
Yeah, it is.
You've got to look at the laws before you can have your perfect town centre. Many, many things have to happen, and 90% of them we don't like the idea of it, but because we can't see where it's leading to. Can you imagine a city centre where it's just so chilled that there's just no need for having security cameras. There's no need to have security guards. No need to have police. Imagine a city centre like that. I think even Dubai doesn't have that. In Dubai, you can leave apparently, the fable, you can leave a gold bar outside and nobody will touch it. Yeah, but that's not for anything other than fear of having the head chopped off. It's not because everybody's got a gold bar.
Yeah.
If it rained gold tomorrow, mate, what would you do? If it rained gold for 24 hours, what would you do?
Well, collect as much as possible.
Imagine if it rained for a week. Now, imagine it rains gold every fucking day for the rest of your life. It's no longer valuable. Scarcity.
Yeah.
You don't want a 15-minute city. You don't want these people coming in here. Watch him, he's taking your cookies while he's got his hand in your back pocket. Scarcity. I'm so full of shit. I can see why people just fucking nearly die when they're in my prison for longer than 10 minutes. I can watch it's
good conversation. It's good.
Then they get too polite and go, I really don't want to go. I want to go. So,
Morning, Casa. Morning, Deegan.
15-minute city doesn't seem too bad, really, does it?
Especially like I said, I sort of hadn't even thought about, the cities I like visiting, and that, Cardiff's my favourite. It's very pedestrianised, but
so you go back to the original book.
I would be fucking, if it was implemented, I would be fucked, to be honest. If without personal transport, I'd be fucked where I live,
But that's the point of the 15-minute city, is to make sure that you don't get fucked. So that within 15 minutes, you've got healthcare, dental, what's the others? Like the main services that you need as what their version of a human is. Yeah, it's all going to be there, but you're going to have to fucking pay for it.
Morning, Michelle.
Morning, panel. I don't know who you are. What's your name?
Who, me?
Yes. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, okay. Nice
Michelle.
to meet you. Hello. I've been sat listening to your conversation about 15-minute cities. Have you looked in a little bit further than what you're seeing? Do you know the way that it's going to work, these 15-minute cities?
No, I don't.
No? Okay. Well, I've actually been to a couple of demos about them. Yeah, I stand against them, very much so. You are aware that you're only going to have 100 passes a year per household, yeah? You are aware of that, to go out of your 15-minute city. You are aware of that? Did you know about that? 100 passes a year? No,
No.
right. So if you have a family of 4, that's 25 passes each. Yeah. Now, to go out shopping, if you want to go to the next town because
Pattern
your
emerging.
15-minute city hasn't got a Aldi or a Lidl and you want to go there, you would have to have a pass to go there. You'd also have to have a pass to go to a hospital appointment. That's took out of your 100 passes.
Hold on a minute, just 1 second, love. I really want to, I genuinely, hand on my heart, look, I'll show you. I'll put my camera on. I do want to listen to you, but I really need a wee, so I'm going to put me on mute so you can't hear me having a wee, but I can hear you.
Fine.
Right?
I've been to the toilet many times with men, and they've not even took me off the
I don't
mute.
want
So
to
believe
assume
me,
anything. So
I've heard many men meet we in the honestly, but I just wanted you to go a little bit further. The fact that there is all these passes that they're going to be giving you. Yep. Also look at where you are. Okay, into your 15 minutes. You also said that these towns would be cycle free. That's not true. These towns, they want you to cycle or walk in. So where do you think that everybody in these 15 minutes with all these bikes are going to be? You think they're not going to be walking through the towns? Of course they are. You also said about you won't see any deliveries. No, because there won't be any shops. If you look at your shops now, they're closing down and they're having all these nice little images put on them. We had a big pound shop, massive, 2 stories, yeah, and it's gone. And now it's university, and it's right in the middle of the city centre, and it's university digs now. Yeah, they've built it all out, and it's university digs, and that is coming more and more. Now, I'm with you. The 15-minute city sounds great. In a nice little theory, it sounds great. Everywhere, everything you need within 15 minutes. Yeah, a shop, a doctor's, a hospital, everything you need within 15 minutes. I haven't got that in 15 minutes. Have you got that in 15 minutes, Ministry? Because I believe you live in the country. What have you got in 15 minutes that you can get to? Right.
Very difficult.
Right. Where is the welcoming?
Closest supermarkets are like, if I was to put my foot down, I could probably make one in 15 minutes as long as there wasn't traffic.
That's right. But you have to think where we live.
Extortionate Premier store, and you can't get everything you need to live. No.
Now, when I moved here in this little bit of Peterborough, down the road, I had a butcher's, a baker's, I had a Wimpy, I had fucking a carpet shop, a shoe shop, clothes shop. I had massive supermarkets. I had everything I needed. If I look back to when I moved to Peterborough, when I was 11, 12 years old, everything was in, even the school was there. Everything was in that 15-minute city. But to do with that. But if you look at them little sections now, we've got these little hubs around us that were built. There is no shops. There is barely a doctor's surgery. Schools. Is there a school 15 minutes near you? It's all things like that. You've got to ask yourself, you're going to need passes to get out of your 15 minutes to go into another 15 minutes. And that's where it's going to cripple us. And if you don't, it's a £70 fine. Automatic number plate recognition before they start bringing in the gates, which is the QR codes. We've all got it. We all know what they're about. Yeah, that's what it's going to be. We don't get letters anymore from the hospital. They're all downloaded, aren't they? Click here to see your letter. Everything's on your phone.
Yeah, I was just, when you were talking, Emma Shah, I was just thinking, and our local secondary schools are, well,
sorry,
the same 15 minutes away. So kids
a hospital appointment,
special passes just to go to school.
Yes, if you've got 100 passes, think about it. We work that out, and sometimes some of that can work out to 2 a week. Shopping, visiting your family. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? If you need to have a pass to go and see your family, you're not going to go because that pass is needed for a hospital visit, going to somewhere else. Think about it. You need to look into these a little bit more, Paul.
No, I without a doubt, I desperately need to look into it. But the problem, like most,
you're not told.
The problem with most issues that really matter, we'll never find out because we're only ever told.
We did a live, yeah, on these 15-minute cities because I heard about these and I spoke to another channel owner and I said, look, either you do it or I'll do it. We've got to talk about these 15-minute cities. This was last year. Do you remember this?
You
Ministry?
have to.
This person did this video. Yeah, they did the whole stream about 15-minute cities. We showed everybody all these maps, what's going on. They got a strike. They got a strike for that.
Yeah. So
they weren't allowed to do anything for 3 months on YouTube because we speak about these things.
Yeah, I get that. Totally. And I completely understand what you mean. But again,
all I'm saying, Paul, is just I hear what you're saying, and in theory, it sounds like a great thing, and we can all buy into it. Get the cars off the road. It's a pain in the ass when you're near the city. I agree, but if you go in to look to a little bit deeper, and know this. I watched the committee where they went in and hundreds of people said they don't want it, and the council said it's happening anyway. They voted it through. They didn't even listen to the public. They didn't give two shits that all these people, hundreds of them, said you're not doing it. You're not doing it.
Completely.
Do you think that's because
there's no argument to any of what you think?
Do you think that's because do you think they disregard what the public say because they're trying to reverse what they did by making retail parks and supermarket centres?
You don't know what you don't know. Like I didn't know half of what you've just told me then.
And look, listen, right, when the little shops are gone, you won't see the deliveries in your town centre because all you'll have is the big shops. And they have their own delivery at the back. Yep. So of course you're not going to see anything. They're paving the way for the thinking of like, it's going to be beautiful.
They're paving the way. They're paving the way. Well, it's just obviously interject.
Where we have no police, no security,
just for 1 second.
Oh no, go on, carry on.
They're paving the way for the fact that your economy as you see it right now is fucking dead. Retail as you see it right now is fucking dead. And the reason for it is because of you don't have a butcher, a baker and a candlestick maker because Tesco's, Sainsbury's, Morrison's and they're all out of town. They're all far away. Right, they took them all away. So what your government's doing right now, whether you like it or not, is telling you what you believe is going on. You don't have a fucking clue, and that's why whatever you've got to say is disregarded. And they take anything that you're saying as disinformation because you have no idea of what the plan is for the next 10 to 20 years. No, sorry. I agree with what Shell's saying, right? I agree with what she's saying. There has to be everything in place in order to have a 15-minute city. But I live out in the sticks, and the only thing I've not got within 5 minutes of my house is a fucking bank. Because banks are becoming landlords. Yeah. Because what you believe is going on is there ain't no going back. There ain't no bringing back retail. That's why your government's telling you your city centres are going to be bistros, bars and nightclubs. Yeah, like they're expecting you to have the greatest weather ever.
They're not going to be. You see, my point I made earlier, way earlier in the conversation, there are two ways of arguing the point. The protectionists will argue from an emotive point of view.
Yeah.
The realist will argue from the facts and figures and no
a practical point of view.
This argument comes down to literally emotive versus no emotion. The lady below me knows as much as she knows about the subject. Like
she knows quite a lot. Yeah.
Hold on. As much as I know, I haven't seen no white paper with all these facts that I've been told are facts by somebody I don't know. I only see an avatar of.
Yep.
Right. So you cannot. It's unreasonable to assume that because you can raise your voice and because you can tap into an emotion to back up what you think you know doesn't make you right. Like it doesn't make me right. But what makes me writer is the natural evolution of things that you can track, that you can watch, that you understand there are steps between Ministry's perfect and what we've got now. Without getting to Ministry's perfect centre, people will not. The ones who want us to stay still, for all want of a better word, because that's what they recognise. They listen to what they're told is harming them, but they're not necessarily experiencing it. But they need to be part of something, and they don't have the confidence to argue the facts, so they have to use emotion, because emotion is their only tool to back up the figures, their facts, when their facts are as legitimate as mine, because neither one of us sat in Parliament behind closed doors and have signed anything or witnessed anything that even remotely resembles anything that you said. It resembles more of what I want and more of what Ministry wants. But we're realistic and we understand that you won't be able to go out on the lash from Friday night till Sunday night and just make everybody's lives a misery because you can't handle alcohol.
Well, to be fair, that goes against the democratic process.
I'm gonna miss out on the happy drunk, like one of my best friends, because he's not going to be allowed to go with me, which is going to be a bit of a ball ache. But
no, it's not going to be a bit of a ball ache. It's going to go fundamentally against everything this country is built upon. And as for not seeing any white papers or being in Parliament, well, I do remember the parliamentarians on every side of the divide, two wings being the same word, saying that they were basing all this stuff on the Chinese model. And we all know how the Chinese model fucking went, don't we? So I disregard, we do, because we saw it. Well, if you never saw it, you weren't looking 2 years ago, because it's like we're running between 18 months and 24 months behind China for everything, aren't we? And you already know this. As for vehicle recognition cameras, they're already deployed and in operation right now, everywhere. That's why the government gave your councils a lot of money to give you 5G. And that's in preparation for the cashless society.
You don't have to do anything. You just watch it on play in front of you. You can listen to it. And
it's not going to change. It's not going to change, but I'm just disregarding. Well, you're manipulating me right now by talking over me by doing the exact same thing you told Ministry to fucking delegate about 10 minutes ago. All right, and I'm not even shouting like you said somebody else was.
I wasn't shouting.
No, it was me that was shouting it later on. But you got pinned on you. Hey,
morning, Michael.
Right, but to be fair, I'm just disregarding what you're saying because I can just disregard it just as easy as what I just did. Many people out there that were in the freedom movement know the auditors kept just walking about, calling copper sausages and stuff like that for the last 2.5 years. Many of us were following worldwide political events, worldwide, legislation that they're bringing in place. The online safety bill. The global fucking safety bill, all these online fucking safety bills, they're all panned upon the World Health Organization and everything else, aren't they? But if you weren't reading that shit 2.5 years ago, you'd be as dumb as what you're being right now by making these comments. To be fair, and that's just my personal humble opinion. Because I know more. No, it's unemotional too. It's unemotional too because I'm autistic. So it's unemotional too.
Do you carry a nails around with you everywhere you go?
I carry a knife.
Is that what you do? Is that? I'm alright with it. I'm cool with it.
I carry a blade.
It'll all become about fun there. But if you
carry a knife, everybody kens this.
Wow.
Oh. I've got a real knife in my back pocket and a YouTube knife in my fingertips.
I don't know what you just said.
I know, because you don't know a lot, especially when it comes to me.
No, I can't hear
you.
I can't hear you from the wind.
I've got my echo turned on.
I can't hear you because of wind.
Cool, man.
My point is, My point is not to rile you. My point is not to insult you. My point is not to denigrate anybody's point of view. My point is, for every one of your scare tactics, there is a fact behind the reason. It's not because somebody tells you it's that. It doesn't mean it's necessarily that. And I'm applying the same rule to myself. But given watching 17% interest, I know it's an old biddy argument, and I don't like it, but you have to use it. I went and saw the miners. I saw interest rate at 17%. I went and watched my dad's businesses fall apart. I went and watched my sister's houses be. I lived through that economic paradigm shift where they needed money as a country. So they say, give the poor the chance to own the home, create a product, and it snowballed. I understand all that, but it's a necessary evil that is exploited by the ones implementing that necessary evil. It's that we have to address. They're not trying to take anything away from ministry by giving him a 15-minute city. What they're trying to give him is what I've got. Surgery within 500 yards.
What they're trying to do is take away his choice.
A train station that will take me direct to London from Bradford. Do you know what I mean? They want to give him.
They're no actually. A 15-minute city. A 15-minute city means he needs papers to get out the city. He needs a justification. They're taking away his freedom of choice. And if you don't think that's a fundamental part of this country, the country I was fucking born in, we got a freedom of choice. Do you want to take that shit because what? Because I went through minor strikes too. Aye. So did it give me your shit? Exactly. No. You're using euphemisms to justify your point. So I'm going to use the same euphemisms to de-justify your point. No, it's not getting riled. You can play that game if you want. Next you'll be saying you've not seen my face, so disregard what I'm saying. Oh no, you already tried that 10 minutes ago. No, you're not making your point good enough. Try it that way. Stop trying to deflect on what I'm saying.
Can we not have a debate?
It's just deflection. It doesn't like what I'm saying.
Degenerate. We've been having a good discussion. So.
No, but every time I'm saying anything at all, which uses the same euphemism as what he's saying, it gets disregarded. That's what he said. That's what he said. That's what he said he didn't like earlier. Yeah, just you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Just pointing out the obvious. They didn't, Tyrone.
Good morning, Tyrone.
I'm only talking a bit louder because of the wind, guys. To be fair.
I can't understand you. I don't like the idea of not being able to hear you because it sounds like I'm disrespecting you. I'm not. I can't hear you.
No, don't worry. Don't take offence. Just carry on with him.
I understand the point, and I understand your point, but you're not prepared to understand any other point than what you know.
No, I'm not. I'm perfectly understand all the points. I'm probably the most pragmatic guy that's here.
Of that attitude.
We don't have a high street because of the attitude of what they destroyed it. The government destroyed it decades ago.
Did they really?
Gradually, they took them all out.
Tell that to Harrods. Tell that to Sainsbury's.
Harrods will have two shops in the UK, Edinburgh and London, bro.
Well, the high street can't be bad. You only need one proof that it isn't, and that's my proof.
No, you need to have multiple proofs.
The high street is dead. Harrods will be. Harrods would.
The high street is dead.
Well, then Harrods must be bankrupt then, and they must have shut down.
No, Harrods are completely different. They work off brand loyalty.
It's different when the facts change. Is that what you mean?
No, it's not different when the facts
change. Now I know where you are.
Let's look at Sorry, right? One of the biggest fanboy fucking companies ever. And they've started doing all the stores. They're making Sorry's only going to go online sales.
About white sugar is bad for you, but it can also be good for you.
Like, listen, any struggle's good and bad. It depends which how you take it. I'm just saying that for every argument you make pro, I can do the same thing as a negative. No, I'm not shouting at all.
He's not shouting,
So-
honestly. He's not shouting. You'll
He's
know when
having
he's
trouble
shouting.
because it's windy.
Bloody hell.
He has
No,
to,
that's
it's
he's
windy.
still not really shouting. He's still not really shouting, even with the wind. Yeah, believe me, he's not. You'd know when he's shouting,
Okay. Would I?
wouldn't we, Ministry? Yeah, you would, wouldn't we, Ministry Tyrone? When Joe shouts, we all know.
Would it be like a giveaway because his volume would go up? Is that what you mean? Do you
Oh,
think I
fucking
don't
hell.
know what
Oh,
you
yeah,
mean?
and you probably wouldn't be able to understand him.
Why are
'cause
you
he gets
talking to me like
Scottish.
I'm a child? What are you
I'm
doing?
Because
You
you're
work
acting
in
like
I'm
one.
just telling you.
Do you work
I'm
in
just
the
telling
school?
you. You're saying no. Fucking do I help?
Did you used to work in a school?
No.
Do you work in
No.
any sector of? Do you have authority in any sector?
What's that got to do with it?
I'm
What's
just curious
authority got
because
to do
you're
with it?
treating me like a 10-year-old, and
I'm not treating
usually
you like this is how I talk. Unless I
middle-aged
get shitty
spinsters
with
do
you.
that to me.
No,
And they
listen.
usually work in
Unless I get
schools,
shitty
so I
with
usually
you,
have to
that's
go,
how I talk. Yeah.
oh,
But all I'm
oh,
saying is,
doctor's
you'd know
surgery.
when Joe shouts. You'd
Do you know
know
what I
when
mean?
Joe shouts.
I
You'd
think
believe
every
it.
male can identify with that.
Oh God. I think I've got another EA audits.
You are led by your emotions, love.
What?
Allegedly.
I was muted then.
Clearly.
I wouldn't
And
say
that goes
clearly.
back to the whole point, doesn't it?
Well, no, it doesn't.
Your
It just goes
fact.
back to the same point of you saying that you know more than what she knows because you're pragmatic rather than emotional. So you can tag her with a brush that she's an emotional Susie, which doesn't really work for the people with autism because we see right through that bullshit. Just like I've been seeing through a book just destroying you. So it's like, come on.
Oh, hang on.
With your own words. With your own words. And you say I'm shouty.
Mate, you need to back up 1 second. Just 1 second.
Destroying you. So it's like, come on.
So what?
Was that no literal? Right, sorry.
So have you got autism then? Do you
I got Asperger's syndrome. What does it matter?
I don't know what you said.
And I'm just a cunt.
Well, I've got Asperger's. I've got Asperger's, but I'm a professional Tuesday. I'm a professional Tuesday. Aye, I'll take it
Tyrone,
on
do you
the
want to get
chin.
one in there? Do you want to get one in there, Mins, quick? Anybody else want to join us?
What you children are talking about now? It's like cheeky fucking pigeon language.
Nah,
Is this
it's no,
what
man. It's like I use your own language. I'm really good.
I
I'm really
know
good
who
at using
you
your own
people
words, man.
are.
Yeah, you know
Oh,
exactly who Joe Kerr is. Aye,
I know
exactly.
who you are.
You knew who we were at the start. That's why you were playing your game.
Mins, Tyrone, I've got to go. My shoulder's
Jeez.
Who sent you? Who sent you?
I'll speak to you later. Fucking hell, I've got to go. See ya.
See you, Michelle. Ta-ra, Michelle.
Jeez.
Oh, Louise.
Oh, use of brain matter. My word. You
Yeah,
are.
says, yeah.
You're another level, aren't you? You're proper.
Oh, above you, aye. Mensa level, to be fair.
You're like proper.
People say like criminally terrible.
Oh, I know who you are now.
Exactly.
Nice.
So anyway, anything else you want to have a chat about? 'Cause, like, I'm up for disregarding everything that comes at your mouth because I can't do exactly who you are.
And so you
Aye.
should. And so you
No,
should.
that shouldn't be.
No, you should. You should do. You should take everything that comes out of my mouth as the antipathy of the truth. Then you'll start agreeing with me.
Well, you never know, eh?
But you
Well,
will always find defiance in order because you have opposition to defiance disorder.
no, it's not to have any opposition
It's
in facts at all, to be fair.
It's cool to have it, dude. Because without people, without it, we don't move forward. We don't get us 15 minutes.
You're talking to a guy that's already said to everybody online, you ain't going to change what's coming, right? UBI's coming. Stop arguing about 1,800 quid and start asking for 36. Aye.
Exactly.
Ken, so you're like, all I'm doing is that you really don't know what each section of this moving forward is going to be. So we can't disregard the positive or the negative viewpoints. And I was just using your own words to try and, you were using it for positive, and I was using it in a way which is negative. That's what I was doing.
I know what you've done. That's a clever background. Very clever that background. You've sided with your superior. Well done, dude. I see what you did there.
Look, I was muted for a couple of minutes, so I don't know what was
No, interesting, Minister. Now interesting. No, that hasn't been said 1,000 times before, and will probably continue to be said 1,000 times after, because we have people who argue facts, their facts, loose word facts, with emotion, and you can't argue you can't do it, man, because you just can't do it. You lose every fucking time.
I didn't think anybody had emotion, to be fair.
Oh, come on.
I didn't, honest, I didn't like, to be fair, I've been called a sociopath, which means I'm pretty much emotionless, so you can't say that I've got emotion. You get what I'm saying? And I didn't think Michelle was being condescending. That's just the way Michelle talks.
Far too many sociopaths.
Talk to everybody like that.
To know you're not neither of those two, do you? Are,
of course, because I've got empathy for people, just depending on the individual.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. It's not what you think I think it is. Put it that way. It's what I think it is. So it's cool. I know what a sociopath and I know what a psychopath sounds, looks, smells like. I've been in very, very close proximity with quite a lot.
Can you explain to me? I don't.
No, I just worked with them a lot. I've cared for them a lot. I understand speech patterns, and you're not either of them. You're just a passionate guy who's passionate about a subject that he believes wholeheartedly in. That doesn't make you a sociopath. It means you're passionate about what you believe in, as I am. And I'm saying you're on the side of the scaremongers, the people who want to keep things scarce. By not giving ministry his perfect city centre. You'll never win the argument. Ministry did it all on his own for me.
My favourite city centre is and it's already gone that way.
No going back from that, mate. No going back from that way. Now about how do you get it without listening to the scaremonger? I mean, when you fight shit, it lasts 10 times longer. Done it just.
Yeah. Talena, the chicken's in my yard shouting.
Steve, don't come in now with your bullshit, Steve.
I'm giving myself a headache.
You're starting with this bullshit now, ministry.
Let's have a look.
I don't read comments either, so if anybody's put out and I answer them, I'm sorry, but I don't read it. I don't read the chat. I learnt my lesson early on. See you later anyway, ministry. Sorry, I killed it. I killed you live.
No, you're good, Paul.
Murdered it.
No, you're always welcome. You're always welcome.
Sorry, dude. Don't worry. What do
I did?
People are going to come on to disagree. It's the way it is.
We can't all have the same opinion, can we? You know.
Oh dear, fuck, man.
Shit world if we had the same opinion. Everybody had the same
I'll
opinion.
deal with that now, Michelle.
Everybody's different.
Oh, I'm just sorry, I'm knackered, man. I've just got back in with a dog. Just to walk up a hill. Nice
and warm up there, Joe.
It's actually just hoodie material there, and it was too hot to be honest, but it's going to be fucking blowing a gale and raining again later, I believe, according to the forecast. So
right.
Thought I'd get it done the new. It's all overcast now though. It's still warm though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Well, warm for Scotland anyway. You know. To be fair, you'll probably be like, that's no warm, fucking weirdos. You know what I mean? But the boy's got no bad point he was making. It's what you make here, eh? But I think we already know what's went down in China. You have to try and ensure that how they link everything up isn't done the same way, you know what I mean? No want to be in that kind of situation where if you're 15 minutes late, they're taking so much off your credit score. That's no good, man. That's quite authoritarian, to be fair, isn't it? You know what I mean?
I didn't know what the argument was, Joe, or the debate was, because I only just come on. I've been working upstairs. So I don't know what you were discussing. That's why I didn't chip in.
Talk about a book first, which is sort of foreshadowing and stuff, and then we got on to technology and the 15-minute cities and things, and I hadn't even thought about the way Paul put it across. I hadn't even thought about it, but my favourite city centre is Cardiff. Most of it's pedestrianised already.
You started that a while ago, though, didn't you?
Into the outer ring roads of really bad congestion.
It'll get a lot worse now. They're bringing in the 20-mile-an-hour limit.
I know. Yep.
It's going to get a lot fucking worse.
But that's all by design.
They're doing it to save on pollution. They're going to cause more pollution by cars idling, more traffic building up. They'll be fucking. It doesn't matter these stupid bastards.
Did no pass laws a few years back that you're supposed to turn your fucking car off if you're at traffic lights and they're jamming that all the time? Which means if you're doing 20 mile an hour, right? You know what I mean? You're going to be using less fuel possibly, but every time you turn it on and off, you use more fuel.
Use more fuel, yeah.
Use more fuel starting it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that means there's more pollution going out. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I mean, there's a big knock-on effect to everything, really. I mean, I'm up for technology. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be like folks that like exploits and all that kind of stuff if I didn't like tech. You know, it's just that how a lot of folk just didn't realise how it can all be joined up. Like it's great.
Well, it's
quite revolutionary.
Going from 30 to 20 is not going to help. There's going to be more traffic building up. There's going to be more fucking road rage. There's going to be all sorts of shit going on. You know, it's crazy.
To be fair, once you hit 20 mile an hour, I think it's like it used to be built up areas were 20 mile an hour, wasn't it? Yeah. And the way the law speaks on that, right? See if somebody walks out on a curb in a built up area, then you're at fault because you should be able to stop. Yeah. They get to sue you. So imagine if it's 20 mile an hour every road. Folk will just be able to walk out in the street and you run them over and you're getting sued too because you should be able to stop.
Well, it's in built up areas, you know, but I don't agree with it myself. I'm against it.
It just makes buses faster, I think. I mean, a bus is limited to 20 mile an hour as well.
Yeah, but they're in our county now, they've taken all the speed cameras away. This must be the reason. I don't know what the reason fucking is, but they've taken all the speed cameras down. But people don't adhere to 20 to 30 or 50 or 60 or 70 now. So what makes you think they're going to go? People think they're going to drive at 20.
You got all the new cameras installed next to all the 5G posts. They're black. Yeah, they're all vehicle recognition. So if they're connected to the same 5G, which I'm assuming they are, right? Yeah, would they not act as speed over distance equals time speed cameras anyway? If they're that smart, like they say they are, because like they're super expensive cameras. I remember reading, you'll be able to find this in the Edinburgh Evening News, no less than about 6-8 months ago. Edinburgh Council came out and says they were spending something like £2.6 million in the city centre to upgrade the camera system. And it was so, this is what they said the justification was. It's so we can know how you use the city centre. We'll know whether you're walking, driving or cycling. That means that's got vehicle recognition, facial recognition, everything in the cameras that they're deploying right now on the grants that they got for the British government.
Yeah, they're pushing for everyone to use public transport, but the public transport is fucking crap. The buses are crap, the trains are crap, you know? The fact.
We have another guest. I don't know how this is going to go, but I don't expect them to be staying very long.
Steve.
Probably because I blocked him. So.
Morning. Hello.
Oof.
Hello. Good morning.
Morning.
Steve.
On the subject that you're talking, what's your name, Jojo? Go on a minute. On the subject that you're talking, only on the subject. Here in Spain, I've actually seen the cities where own areas is common practice here in Spain. I think for anybody that's traveled Spain would recognize that this happens, and it's worldwide. It's not here in, okay. What happening in England now?
Oh, bad signal. Sorry.
He was glitchy. Like, to be fair, I
couldn't hear him.
Couldn't only make out so much. Something about 15-minute cities are already in Spain. It's good or something.
I expected him to come on ranting and raving, but he didn't. So I was a bit disappointed. So he can just leave.
Fucking hell, man. You stick to your guns, my man. You stick to your guns, indeed.
Oh, well, he's been abusing me for days. I'm not going to give him a platform.
I've not seen fuck all for since Saturday or something, to be fair. So I fucking misplaced my phones in my house. Took me a couple of days to find them. Fuck, shocking.
Like I said, I don't take offence very easily to what he says, but that one's for JJ and fucking Nutter.
Oh, did they go after Nutter as well? Did they?
You asked for everyone.
Nutter's wife and kids. So you know.
Oh well. Nutter's all right. He's a good lad too.
Hey, AJ.
Good guy. Good guy.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
AJ.
Okay.
Mr. Smith.
What did Stay have to say?
Nothing.
Have a rant. He wanted to join in the conversation, but yeah, I'm not really fancying that this morning. Not after the way talking about people the last few days. I get it, it's clicks and views, but he's not going to use me as some sort of fucking stepping stone back on people's path.
You'll be doing a live later calling you a cunt, I'm sure.
Hey, that's all right.
You're right, Joker. You're right. Is it right or wrong?
Yeah.
You're right, bro.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good man. Yeah.
Just waiting for council to come. I've had a gas leak, mate.
What, you farted?
No, I knew you'd say that, Joker.
It's the first thing I could think of, man.
All right, Sam, what's happening, lad? Good morning, guys. How are you all?
Hi, JJ.
Good.
Yeah, man.
Go on, Tyrone, Joe,
Morning.
AJ, Ministry. That was funny.
Well, he's been talking shite for days, and he knows that I don't take offence. And he obviously watched Gamers Live from last night, where I say about what he said about me that I really don't take offence. But other people might, but I do take offence at what he says about other people. Well, not offence. I find it annoying that he's doing it for clicks and views.
Yeah, it's not cool, is it?
No, it's not.
At the end of the day, it shows the strength of a person, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I was watching him on Grippers at like 3 o'clock in the morning. That gamer. It's funny.
Gamer's gamer, man. You know what I mean?
Big up, Joe. What you been up to, Joe? Anyway, I haven't seen you for a couple of days.
I fucking misplaced my phones, dude. Misplaced 2 of my phones that I use, So, like...
Morning.
You're not alone with that. I do it all the fucking time. That's why I always have 2. One plotted somewhere where I can see it, so I can phone the other phone.
I've got 3, but like two of them, like they're no logged in. I use one for WhatsApp and I use one for YouTube, and I've got my daily driver. You know what I mean? That way I'm no logged in everywhere I go, and you fucking, you know what I mean? You didn't get a minute's peace with notifications and shit. But I end up losing shit. Like, put one of my phones on top of a fucking mirror. Put one of my phones on top of a mirror. It's like the top of it's 7 foot high. Like, what the fuck is it doing up there?
You think it's because we're getting old, or because we're just nuts?
Probably just nuts, man. Just a bad day.
I believe that. Yeah, I do it all the time. It drives me nuts. What does me is when I lose both phones, because then I can't phone my phone up to find out where it is. So then I've got to wait for someone to notify me or fucking. And I do get quite a few. So I hear the ding ding and I still can't find it. It drives me mad.
I've got these SIM cards on the other phones, so I have to use Telegram. You know what I mean? It's like fucking hang yourself on Telegram, man. It's like fucking the battery goes dead, you're fucked. You know what I mean? The joys.
Yeah. And you can spend hours looking for it, and the next minute it's somewhere so simple. It's probably on top of the telly or fucking on the side right next to it. And you look and you think, I've been spending hours looking for that, and it's looking at me.
It's usually where you last left it.
I misplace my wallet every day. I put it down somewhere safe and misplace and end up looking for it for half hour.
Where's Joe gone? He's lost his phone again. Joe, you lost your phone again, mate.
Yeah, he's out and about somewhere, so he might have lost connection.
Yeah, it sounded like he was walking up the street.
That was actually funny what you just said, AJ, and it slipped right past us, didn't it? It's usually where you last left it.
Yeah, it usually is, so isn't it?
Well, it always is, isn't it? You know.
That made me laugh when you said I've lost both phones, so I can't phone one phone to find the other.
Yeah.
And when it pings, you're like looking all over the fucking house.
Oh, it drives you mad. You can hear the ping, but you can't find the phone. Yeah, that does drive me mad.
Yeah, man, it's me,
Go
man.
on,
Fat
Doug.
fingers. Fat fingers. You know.
Oh,
Yeah.
just fall off the mountain, Joker.
Fall off the mountain.
No, let's get it right. It just fall off the hill.
Off the bray. Off the bray.
Find the nearest tree and climb up it, you get a better signal.
Allegedly, it was just my fat thumb, to be fair. You know, I've got that magical thing called Wi-Fi.
Hey,
You know.
Gamer were using your catchphrase last night, allegedly. He said it about 5 times.
Fucking terrible, man. Need to get a new one. Sorry, I've got 10 in reserve.
All right, go on.
I'm only taking the piss.
I bet you have.
No, probably no. Probably, I don't know. You know what I mean? But I think I really think of them. Really, I think it's just the way I react to things that are happening on panels. You know.
Yeah.
So, quite good at one-liners. You know. Sign of a misspent youth. You know. Been in the pub too much, just like being able to play pool.
Yeah, that's what I like when I go down the pub. I go in the pool.
Get a pool and rinse your mates like fuck. You know,
Yeah, that's the one.
in front of everybody, so everybody else is sitting there who didn't have any bants, get awfully upset quite easily. They're all sitting there going, oh, which makes it even funnier, to be fair. You know what I mean? It's true. Like, whether you like it or not, it's the shock factor, man, for half it. You know what I mean? You will get folks sitting going, oh, can't believe I said that.
I always think I'm brilliant at pool, but I'm crap at it.
Well, we always think we're brilliant at everything, don't we?
I'm better after 2 pints, worse after 5.
Yeah. After 10 pints, when you think you're winning, that's when you're the best. You know.
Yeah, man. You're like, yeah. The guy's like, nah, I've just cleared the table, mate. That's me being put on the balls. You're like, oh, right. Oh, fuck. Shit.
Yeah.
All right.
You go, did you see that shot? And you don't go nowhere near the pocket, you know. That's fucking brilliant. I'm the best, man.
I thought I was pretty good at pool until I played on a full-size snooker table.
Oh my god, yeah, that's a completely different ball game.
I actually prefer that, to be fair. I prefer a full-size snooker table, to be fair.
Some people do, don't they? I like the 3/4 size.
I think that must be the army buzzing you, because my nephew likes that. He prefers snooker than the pool.
No, it's no snooker. I just prefer full-size pool tables. Like American
the
style.
big ones. Yeah, I like the big tables, but I like the big holes as well, so you've got more of a...
Well, it's true. Like, that's one of the reasons why I like them, because, like, whether you like it or no, I find it easier for long cut-ins and bank shots, to be fair. But like, don't get me wrong, I grew up playing on the same size of table. It would be Super League rules. You know what I mean? 2 shots in the carry, 1 shot in the black, canny shot with D. None of that poof pool, free ball, free space shit.
Oh, fuck's sake! They've changed the rules every week, didn't they? They changed the rules every week, even the way you set up.
I like the American pool tables, mate.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I prefer to.
That's what we were talking about. Yeah, the American.
I thought you were saying snooker.
No. We're talking about the American pool ones. Yeah, I like them. I've got to admit. I mean, the English ones we had years ago. The fucking just about get the pool ball down the hole. You know, and they were smaller, weren't they? And it was just felt like a bit of a kid's game, you know. But yeah, the American one I think is a bit easy. It goes quicker as well, doesn't it? So you're getting game after game after game.
But you generally you're paying them by the hour anyway, eh? You know what I mean? It's not normally fucking anyone I've played anyway. It's been you pay by the hour. It's not really been cash operated. You know what I'm saying? I used to go to Marco's in Edinburgh all the time. They've had them for fucking decades. You know what I mean? And they had a wee room where there was 2 tables which you could hire out, and they shut the doors, which meant you just put your lines around the table, and that. It's great.
That's like you said though. That's what I call a night out. We're out with your pals, and sometimes when there's a group of people in there, you make up a scenario like what you just said. You start going so heavy into taking the piss, and everyone's looking at you, thinking, "Fuck me, is this real?" You know, you're doing it fucking about with your mates. I love it. I fucking love it.
There's a few snooker clubs around where I am with, you know, private rooms. Obviously, they got the big open pool with tables, but you can go in, you can book the private rooms with your full size table or your, like you said, 2 full tables and some gaming machines.
Yeah, man.
I like that when you like say you're having a competition with your mates for a thing, but otherwise I like to be in the room where everyone is, so you know it's more of an audience to take the piss with, you know, and it depends on what mood you're in, doesn't it, Joe?
I'm sure I could
up here, that's a pub.
Yeah, the
Ministries, I think.
Somebody got chickens in the background.
Yeah, me. They're in the backyard. They're my sister-in-law.
Ministry uses them for his sacrifices to Baha with.
Did I hear that right? Did you just say they're in my backyard? It's my sister-in-law.
Yeah, they're my they're my sister-in-law's chickens.
Oh,
Mercia.
I thought
you just broke character there, Ministry, man. Talking about your chicken inbred sister.
Big up Ministry. I love Ministry, man.
I could hear them drop a loud in my headset, them chickens.
They're my girls.
What I find funny is during some of your videos, your accent goes and it comes back. It goes a wee bit and it comes back like Mercia. Great laugh. It's like funny as fuck. It reminds me when fucking Zara done. It reminds me when Zara done over Paul Hutt and fucking Tony P, where fucking what was her name, Susie or whatever it was, where she was fucking Gail Fair, where she was coming in and out of Scouse during the whole conversation. Like, hey, I was pissing myself listening to that because I'm like, no way he's done it again. Nah.
When she's proper on one, she's a comedian. She should be on stage, shouldn't she?
Aye, as long as she's tied in. So she can't get in the crowd and that and start strangling cunts.
Active audience in the sanatorium, isn't it?
So Jimmy Savile said anyway.
I got a book burning to do later, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna record it.
Go on, yeah, burn that fuck. Definitely.
What you burning?
Jimmy Savile, look.
Jimmy fucking Savile. Came up in a load of stuff that was brought up by my auntie from my nan's yesterday, because my nan passed away like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
She brought a load of stuff, you know, all sorts, and that was in there. So I was either going to do a read through or a book burning and then chat.
Book burning, 100%.
What's that? Before you do the book burn, then. Before you do it.
Burn it online. Burn it online.
Aye, but before you do that, do a read through and see if you can find any telltale. We should have known he was a noncy bastard. When was this book published? Because you'll find shit in there that he's like, if it's his words, right? You'll find shit in there that they've like whoever the ghostwriter is or whatever. Because I'm assuming he used ghostwriters like the odd day. Get what I mean? They sit and chat and then they put it in there. The ghostwriter puts it in their word and makes it sound better and all that.
Yeah.
You know, there's bound to be
first published in '74, and
so there's bound to be something in there.
The first print of the softback, which is '76. That's 1976.
So
that could be worth a few, Bob.
Yeah, but it could be worth a few views burning it with lighter fluid.
Yeah, that's the one. Just a steak as well. Put a steak. Put it on a steak.
Read through it.
I'm tempted to read it first.
Skim it yourself, read it, and highlight anything that you think's a bit noncy, right? And then show cunts what it is, because there's bound to be something in there. There's fucking loads of things we've seen on all the TV shows he's been on. You know what I mean? Aye, that everything's like cringe. There'll be words in there that will be cringe to you, I would assume. And then burn the bastard. You know what I mean?
Like that fucking, what's his name, Rolf Harris, with that song he used to sing, Two Little Boys and all that, all them fucking...
tie my kangaroo down, sport. Tie my kangaroo down, you know what I mean?
You know
the fuck?
Minister, you know when you do them hillbilly videos?
Can you tell what it is?
do one of them and say you were searching for dead bodies in the field, yeah, and you found this book and you just burn it.
No, the hillbilly
Exactly.
would want to frame it. The hillbilly would want to frame it. The hillbilly would want to try and sell it to Fritz. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right what he's saying, Joker. Just read through and you'll see some tell signs. Because when you watch interviews back with Jimmy Savile, you know, he does
It's
put hints in that he's a fucking pedo. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
It's a fucking cringe fest what you watch with that cunt now. You know what I mean? And even
Also,
like,
you know what, Joe?
even
I
then,
also think they were sacrificial goats for the fucking the proper naughty ones. You know, I think there was low level ones to throw out into the fire. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying they weren't. I'm saying they were, yes, but I think that, you know, it was just a scapegoat for the top level ones. You know.
Well, I'll be honest with you, right? I haven't flicked through it or looked at it, and I've just looked at the back cover. And to be honest, it makes me want to fucking vomit. I know it really does. Now you know about what he did, it really makes me it's making my stomach turn.
Yeah, you got to burn it, man. Get rid of it. You don't want that in your head, do you? Fuck it. Burn it. Fucking dirty cunt.
Right, I'm
Yeah,
off ministry. I got to change the light in the UV light in the fish filter, so I got to jump off. Catch you
Oh,
again.
See you later, Tyrone. God bless you, mate.
Everyone.
See you later, mate.
on.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah, UV light, good for the fish.
Yeah,
Man.
okay.
Good for the fish.
Yeah, StreamYard's kicked me out. I don't know why. Does that every now and again?
Yeah, on the phone, man. The phone kept cutting out when I was on the actual phone.
Yeah, mine's done it a few times. Mine seems to get hot when I'm on StreamYard, so you know, I think my battery's not taking the strain very well, so I might need to.
Are you on an iPhone?
No, I got a Huawei P30, so it's about 6 years old.
When your battery's getting hot, it's a sign that you need a new battery. That.
Yeah, I'll probably keep it for photography and shit, and get another P30 for streaming.
To be fair, right, it could just be that StreamYards are using your device, you know, under a torrent system, or to mine Bitcoin.
You know what you got to be careful is when you get all these apps and they say, "Can we look through your contacts and do this and do that?" You give them permission to do so much stuff.
Yeah, but you can also use, if you've got a Samsung, you can use Samsung Privacy Guard, which is built in, should be, and that'll gives them the permission but blocks them anyway, just sends them fake data.
What's that called, Joe?
I think it's Samsung Privacy Guard. I think it's built into Samsungs, to be fair.
Oh, wicked. I've never had Samsung. Yeah,
you just activate it in the settings.
Yeah, and you can then go through each and every app, and although you gave it the permissions of contacts, you can kind of it gives them the permission, but it doesn't let them see it. Just kind of tells them there's nothing there. Kind of sends them kind of fake data. I think that's how it works.
I think it's under settings, yeah, and then it's Samsung Privacy Guard. So you just click it on. You know what I mean? But it doesn't. It's not on as standard.
What would it be under? General management or
settings?
It should be set. It's in settings. It should be in there somewhere. Just when you go into settings, just hit
search and security, isn't it?
No, just hit the search button and put Privacy Guard.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the one. Privacy Guard.
Yeah,
it doesn't always find it on the Samsung phones. Sometimes you've got to go straight through the settings. Depends what phone you've got.
Privacy Guard results.
A lot of custom ROM.
It just says Samsung Privacy. That's the one, isn't it?
It'll be in there then. They've maybe renamed it, whatever.
Alert when clipboard is Samsung Privacy. Got it again.
So all you do is you turn it on, JJ.
Yep, it's turned on.
There you go.
See,
when you get your phone as standard, they don't turn that on for you. You've got to actually turn it on.
The EU made everything opt-in. It's like when you first get your phone, you've got to decide what browser you're going to get now, whether you want Google Chrome or if you want Firefox and all that shit.
Firefox is shit. I'd always go for Chrome, mate.
Yeah, Chrome's like wide open for hackers, but you know, and it's not very good for your privacy.
What is it on fucking iPhone? It's Safari, isn't it? I don't rate Safari.
Safari, aye. On iPhone, I used to use, there was a certain browser that allowed you to use Flash.
It will only let you go on StreamYards through Safari on the iPhone. It won't let you use Chrome or nothing.
Nah.
Try Opera.
Opera's built on Safari.
Oh, is it?
It's built. Aye, Safari's. What was first, Safari or Opera? Because one of the two of them's built on each other.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Opera,
I think Opera.
Safari.
Aye, well, Safari's built on Opera. It's the same as Brave browser is built on Chrome, but it's more privacy centralized. So a lot of the Chrome, like spy on you stuff that's built in, is kind of deactivated with Brave, but it's still Chrome. You know what I mean? It's just a modified version, eh? Bit like Chromium. You know what I mean? For Linux.
Yeah, JJ, you'll have a lot less problems now you've activated that. You know, that privacy guard.
Yeah, I've just done that. I'm trying to get into my accounts now.
I think it lets you know if anybody's trying to get into your phone.
Aye.
Good.
Should like pop up saying.
Oh, yeah. It must have been all the time because I always get that. Yep. Must have been all the time.
Well,
Reset.
at least you know now.
Yeah. I used to know now what it was. It must have been on. I didn't know it was called Privacy Guard though.
Nah, it might have been just called Privacy now. It was Privacy Guard a few years back when custom ROM makers. But that's what everybody should do. Like if your phone's what you want to, you should root it, crack open the bootloader, and put your own custom ROM on.
What? Go to the settings and then down to your activation number and click it 5 times.
No. That's developer options. That's see if you want to like stop the fact if you ever leave StreamYards, it just cuts you off. You need to activate that and turn off the automatic APR, whatever it is, like shutting the programs down.
Is that why it cuts you out?
Aye, because it's got in there. It's set sometimes depending on the manufacturer. They set it to kill all apps when you leave. So when you flip back to YouTube, it kicks you off StreamYards. You go in your developer options and turn that shit off, and it'll not do that. It'll just leave StreamYards running in the background where you can hear everything.
Well, it keeps kicking you off.
Aye. No, that's my thumb though. That's my big fat thumb. To be fair, because I'm walking about doing something at the same time. You know what I mean? To be fair,
I had an update on
but what I was talking about, your bootloader, so you can install a completely different Android system onto your phone, which has all of the shit that you want turned off already. None of the bloat where your phone runs faster, it's more secure, and it lasts longer. Just putting a custom ROM on it, a custom firmware, for lack of a better word. You know, like Samsung and whoever your phone manufacturer is, right? They put in shed load of shit that you didn't really use.
Do. Yeah, I deleted
so
mate.
So your custom shit. Aye, but there's a lot of shit you can't. There's a lot of shit you can't delete.
You disable it.
You freeze it. Aye. But why have it there anyway? Why have it there taking up resources and taking up space? Why not just not have it at all?
Because once you've got buy the bigger phones, you know, with the bigger memory.
But that's why I'm saying to you, it's better to root your phone, open the bootloader, and then reinstall an operating system. Put in whatever phone you've got, right? Samsung S22 plus sign, custom ROM. It'll take you to XDA developers. You'll be able to see how many custom firmwares there are for your phone, any phone.
Yeah, but the second that you root your phone, you can't update it no more. You can only update it.
No, you can't. No. That's not true. You can still update anything. You like a lot of custom ROM manufacturers now, right? Because they're well known. They actually push updates to their GitHub, which then pushes it to OTA. Which is over the air, you know. And when you do an update, like you've normally got you install what's known as a recovery app, right? Like fucking Magisk or something like that. It's probably most popular nowadays. And when they issue another update, all they actually do is push you like an image file. You put that on your SD card and go into the Magisk and choose update. It doesn't actually update the phone fully again, as in wipes all your shit. It just updates the operating system, the security patches.
That's what I mean. You can't just update it from the update on your phone. You've got to fuck about once you reset.
It's not really. It's just going to a web page that you've bookmarked if you're using that person's ROM and downloading their new file and pin it on your SD card and opening up an app and going update to there. Thank you. Yeah, it depends on like how much you worry about your security. I mean, if I was on a rooted phone, for example, right, I know the 5 identifiers that the phone like broadcasts with, right? So I would use a program that would broadcast that my phone is a fucking iPhone, and all the identifiers were completely different, and my number was different. And if you went into my settings and all that about and all that kind of stuff, it wouldn't have my in there. It wouldn't have my number in there or anything like that. So you could steal that shit. It would also be blank or something saying "Go fuck yourself." You know what I mean? Because you set all that yourself. Get what I'm saying? Aye, but that's like. But nowadays, like you've got to change your device every year, or change the identifying numbers and the brand of the phone via the IMEI numbers, so that if anybody is watching you, they're like, oh, he's on an iPhone 10. No, he's not. He's got a Motorola StarTAC. You get what I'm saying? That kind of shit. Because then they can't use anything against you.
This phone I've got is fucking brilliant. What is it? Samsung Galaxy A52s. Fucking brilliant.
They're all right. They're all right. I've got the A71 as well. As a budget phone goes, they were decent cameras and decent spec as well. Really, Qualcomm's.
I'm a tight fucker. That's why I haven't updated mine in so long. But it hasn't really stopped coming up for the last few months.
So what are you doing? You're doing your live through? You're on a laptop or a phone?
Oh no, I'm on desktop at the moment.
You're on desktop.
Ministry, can I ask you a simple question, Ministry? When was the last time you ever factory reset your phone?
Never.
Oh, you should do it recently.
What does Microsoft suggest you do with your PC every 3 months if it's not wiped the fucking operating system and reinstall? Yeah.
Reset.
Right? What do you think? Think about this, right? Windows 10, anything for Windows 8, including Xbox One shit, yeah, right? It's nothing more than a modified version of Android, isn't it?
Yeah.
What should you be doing with your Android phone out of chance? You think you should be wiping it every 3 months? Factory reset it. Actually having a backup, like Titanium backup app, like obviously didn't pay for it, you know what I'm saying? Have a backup of your contacts, a backup of your apps that you want to keep, and then factory reset, reinstall your Titanium and put your apps and that back on. Because that will actually clear a lot of people's like phone problems.
If you back up your apps, you don't need to reinstall them. They install anywhere.
Aye, but I would use Titanium backup for that rather than like Samsungs or what do you call them, HTCs or fucking Huawei's or whatever. I would use like Titanium Backup Pro rather than any of the businesses ones, because every time you use Samsung,
back it all up as well, Joe. Cloud, is that
that's all right. But like, let's be fair, right? Do you think the cloud's secure? I mean, a lot of folk do automatic backups, right? Yeah, automatic backups with your iPhone, right, to the cloud. That's great, guys. Do you know that's not an encrypted backup you've just put on the cloud?
Okay.
No, it ain't encrypted. So, like, it depends on the manufacturer. Samsung have been taking their cloud away for everybody because they couldn't keep it secure, and it was having problems for people. So I suggest everybody use like Titanium Backup Pro and save it to the SD card. Just make a folder on your SD card called Phone Backup. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Save it to there, and that way you're not putting it on the cloud. You put anything on the cloud. Somebody like me who decides I want to see what you've got in your cloud might just go and watch it all.
Yeah. I've got a lot of unnecessary shit on my phone, like apps and fucking files, video files from fucking ages ago, you know, when I first started using my phone for recording. So it definitely needs a clean up. But I never thought of the phone, you know, I regularly do my computers, you know.
It's no different though, bro. If you think about it, it's the same operating system though.
Yeah, it's just a mini computer, a phone, aren't they?
Yeah.
My phones are better than my fucking computers, to be fair.
That's why I've got a couple of really decent laptops. I hardly ever use them, man. I just always use my phones for everything. I don't even know why I bought the things. A waste of money it was, really.
Yeah, if you want encrypted, use Linux. You can turn your phone into Linux.
Yeah, you can do that. You can put Kali on your phone, but not to turn your phone into Linux. You're going to have to root it and open the bootloader It's no
No.
different putting Linux on your phone as putting a modified Android on, to be fair. But there's no much Linux out there. I think for this S10 up, you're pretty good to go. There's only a couple of things that didn't work, like the camera doesn't work and the location, I think, doesn't work, which shouldn't be a problem for anybody. If there's no drivers for the camera, no cunt's turning your camera on. And if there's no driver for the location thing, if that's not got any drivers, then they couldn't be able to track your phone. And I'm pretty sure that that'll never be getting fixed, people. And that's for Ubuntu on your phone.
So what's that thing called? Titanium?
Ubuntu. I've got that on my what is it? Raspberry Pi Ubuntu.
So is that an app? That Titanium thing you mentioned just now?
Yeah, Titanium Backup Pro. Like if you didn't buy it, but I'm pretty sure you can how to go. What's a reasonable source?
Will that be in the Play Store?
It'll be in the Play Store, aye. But if you just Google Titanium Backup Pro + APK, yeah, you'll find a hacked one.
You've got it in here. Titanium
You'll find
Backup.
a hack. Aye. But you'll find a hacked version of the Pro version, yeah, which will allow you to back up everything you want to back up individually. Just go around your phone and delete shit you didn't want anymore. Make sure before you delete stuff, go into your actual settings and apps, and then go into the apps you didn't want, and make sure you delete the cache and delete the data before you delete the app, right? And that'll make sure any orphan files are gone before you do any of your backups and shit. Delete what you didn't want,
Joker,
and then back up the shit.
Are you an APK man? Do you use all the APKs? I do.
I will deassemble an APK and turn it into whatever I want. Basically, I'll no use a lot of sites. I'll just go and get the Pro version as a trial and then defeat the trial version and turn it into Pro and use that. That way, you're getting like a 100% decent app. If you get what I mean, it's not got any spyware.
Sometimes you can just delete it and start again. But
aye, of course, for trials. Aye. There's things that'll freeze. There's things in there as well that you can freeze the date on the app so it never gets past the trial and all that kind of stuff. But to be fair, there is always things that developers have got out there, app owners, it'll ping your device and stuff like that. That's why you want to have it rooted so you can stop them from pinging your shit. If you get what I mean, you can ping them, but they can't ping you. If you get what I'm saying, and then that limits how often you have to then go and download a new app to get the Pro version working again. If that makes sense.
Watch this joker. He actually does know what he's talking about.
I've got an HNC and HND in computer, and that's why I laughed at Mr. T. That's why I laughed at Mr. T when she was calling me a hacker, because she didn't have a fucking clue what she was talking about. But I knew what she was talking about, but she didn't have a Scooby-Doo. She just using buzzwords, like DOSing, denial of service, and that. She didn't have a Scooby. That's how I knew she was just being a fucking evil bitch. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's no point trying to say I'm doing something when you didn't have a clue what you're talking about. You know what I mean?
I think you've got more integrity than that anyway, Jordan.
To be fair, I only mentioned to Grim Reaper because it was like a 20-year-old forum. Right, so even stuff like the Spectre hack, you know what I mean? It was fucking 15 years before that shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what happened was they tried to update from too old an edition up to the latest one, which caused too many changes, which caused it to fucking freeze, break, whatever you want to call it, and then they had to basically back up their shit, reinstall the latest one, and then put their stuff back in. You know what I mean? And modify it slightly, probably because the Python would have changed from 1.1 to 3.2, what it is now. You get what I'm saying? All the stuff that runs a website, it's loads of little applications, right? Yeah, loads of little lines of code, and they all have version numbers. You can't upgrade from version 1 to version 20 and think everything's going to be fine.
That's true.
It doesn't work like that. You got to do it in blocks. You know what I mean? So that's what happened there. But she ran with that, man. Fucking, that was great fun, to be fair.
Yeah,
that was probably one of the best BBA lives he ever did, was when I got to go on BBAs and speak to Grim Reaper and her. I spoke to Grim Reaper first, and he said that she was a lying cunt. She knew fuck all. She wouldn't have known anything about his website. So anything she had been saying, she wouldn't have known that information because she had nothing to do with the back team. You know what I mean? And then she came on and says, yeah, you're a fucking bastard, Joe. You did this, this, and this. And I was like, well, to be honest, Grim just says you talk shit, bitch. But that live's no up. I've got it. I got the whole 9 hours, to be fair. I thought it would be. I thought I'd have that, you know. They left it up to the Monday and I thought, boom, motherfucker, that's mine.
So you downloaded a 9-hour live, fucking hell.
I downloaded a 9-hour live just for Grim Reaper and Mr. T. Yeah, I downloaded the 9-hour live before that just for the Anne Marie conversation that proved that she was a lying cunt too.
Fucking hell, that's dedication, that Joker.
Well, I didn't think BBA would give me the opportunity, but he honestly thought by having loads of folk on the panel and just me there myself that I would quiver and quimple. But I didn't. I just asked the questions.
BBA live.
It was a BBA live. Aye, that's why
I don't blame you. I don't blame you, Joker.
No. Well, he was running about with that shit, and then he took the lives down when it got proved categorically they were talking shit.
He always does.
He took the lives down and still ran with it for another 6 months.
He always does. He does a live and he says things and then takes it down, and it's nobody will clip it, but they do.
But the thing is, YouTube say that's naughty because I heard Amanda and Chris got done for that.
Mm-hmm.
They lost their channel for that. Because if you keep taking all your lives down, YouTube see that as a red flag, and eventually the algorithm will go through every one of your fucking lives that you've got backstage.
That shocked me
that'll
when
fuck
that
you.
happened.
For me, like when I heard of that, I was like, nah. I actually had to speak to Amanda and go, is that actually what happened? She was like, yeah, that's what they said. I was like, wow, that's a big change in the algorithm. To be fair, because a lot of people use that as a tactic, and it's not just used. Well, it's a lot of the nefarious tactics come that way, because if you say something on a live, yeah, and then you get clipped, right? But that live's no there for you to give the context. Hey, you're fucked up.
That's why I always used to clip.
To be fair, I said this ages ago. What does it mean? Does it mean you have to record your screen every live you go on now? I said this years ago when all this shit was happening, Ken, like lives going down, especially after they're being clipped, rinsing somebody, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Is that what it means? You have to record everything now in order to be okay and safe online. It's a scary fact, to be fair.
It's got that function where you can press record on that.
Screen record,
To be honest, I've never recorded a live stream. Obviously, I've clipped little bits.
No, but I'm on about on StreamYard. You can actually record your own lives.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
That if you record your own lives too, that will mean anything that's over 12 hours, you'll get to keep the end of it.
Yeah, I had to clear a load because if I ever need any of mine, I'll just fucking rip them back off YouTube.
If YouTube lets you.
Yeah, but that's it. I'm not too temperamental about keeping hold of them in stream. I'll just clear the fuckers out of stream.
It's probably not best to delete them. Just send them private.
I do on YouTube. I've got 1 or 2 private ones on YouTube.
Or maybe YouTube sees that as the same thing.
It's the same thing. That's no. Chris and Amanda weren't deleting all their lives, mate. They were setting them private.
And she still lost the channel. Wow.
That's according to what Chris and Amanda said at the time, because remember, I think a gamer was getting the blame for it at first, wasn't he, for them getting a strike or some shit. Some company was getting the blame for it, and then they were like hounding YouTube to find out why. YouTube were like, no telling you, it is what it is, blah blah blah, and they eventually got out them that it was because they made all their lives private. The algorithm saw it as a red flag. And that's when they went and looked at stuff, and then when they looked at stuff, they were like, no, there's stuff in there we didn't like. But they wouldn't tell her what stuff was either. So it could have been anything. It could have been medical information, bullying, whatever you want. But they didn't tell her that. They just said that it wasn't a human being that reported you or anything like that. It was the algorithm because you put everything as private. That's pretty much what they said, if I remember correctly.
Well, YouTube can watch everything that you got private anywhere.
Yeah, you can watch anything you want. It's there.
Anybody that deletes a live on YouTube and thinks they deleted it, YouTube can still watch it.
It's still there.
I don't even know how to put them live when I do them. I haven't got a clue how you put them. Put them in private.
JJ, it's in your studio. It's in your studio, JJ.
Okay.
It's in the YouTube studio. You need to go into the individual thing where and then
you don't
edit,
even need
and
to
then
go
you can
into
set the visibility.
You don't even need to go into studio. Send it private. You can just do it from your videos. It's the next day your live appears on your videos, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So you just click on it and then you just send it private. You don't need to go studio.
Does that count for you, YouTube stuff as well? That you just do, you know, like I just do walk through YouTube with my dog.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, yeah.
Same thing, yeah. Like, if you think about it, right, when you go live on YouTube, there is no difference apart from when you go live on StreamYard, that is hitting your go live button on YouTube and sending the StreamYard video. That's all it's really doing. It's the same shit.
Next Tuesday, what's later? It doesn't say private.
It's like to go live on YouTube itself. You've got to pay for it, haven't you? If you don't use StreamYard. Do you not?
Nah. I just found this out not that long ago today that literally you didn't have to have a certain number of subs to go live on YouTube either, hit the live button either. I always thought it was you had to have 500 subs for that shit.
You're restricted when you go live through YouTube on what you can do.
To guests you are. You have to send out private link if you want a guest.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
But I think,
which one would it be? It says share video, edit video, play video, save to device. Edit, yeah?
Edit, aye. And then once you get an edit, it'll be set visibility. And then you can set that to private.
Yeah, press edit.
Unlisted.
Press edit and then go private. Where it says private, just click on private.
So anyway, add description, public. No, it's not make the kids add playlists.
Are we just teaching JJ how to make all his lives private? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah. I just want to know how to do it. I haven't got a fucking clue. When it comes to these computers, mate, I'm totally illiterate.
Just a second.
I know the basics, just the basics, that's it.
Right, press edit, yeah?
Yeah, I press edit and it just says add description, public.
Right, when it says public, click on public.
There you go. Fuck me.
Yeah,
it says unlisted, public, unlisted, private. Yeah. Public, unlisted, and private. I know now. Thanks, guys.
You don't need to go through fucking YouTube Studio. Trust me.
Just the way I've always did it. To be fair,
well, actually, I'm on YouTube Studio now. That's what I'm on.
When you hit the edit, it takes you to YouTube Studio. So I just never do that.
I'm on YouTube Studio. Let's see if I can do it without that then. Not Studio, my channel. Live.
I remember when JJ started off, he didn't have a clue, did you, JJ?
Oh, fuck me. I mean, I just know now just the basics, really.
You know, the funniest person I've seen that started off was Right or Wrong. He's like, how do I put this link out? He's still typing the link out, you know what I mean? But I can't explain I can't explain to him that I had to copy and paste.
Copy and paste.
Actually, I think it was you. AJ that helped me on
the easiest way to do it for anybody is just to use the browser tab at the top. It's the same one. Because I think sometimes when you're on a phone, it doesn't give you the option for share link, I think. Because the mobile interface and the laptop interface are slightly different on StreamYard, isn't they?
You'll be an expert before you know it, JJ. Trust me.
I'm going to be shutting down in about 10 minutes. I'm going to get out and do some filming then.
Yeah, no worries. Are you going to do some more Hillbilly videos with your dungarees on?
I am today, yeah. I am.
Did you just call them buggeries?
They haven't got a split arse in them, all Velcro.
It's not that. I watched your first video and I thought, fucking hell, what's going on here? It does look like it's in America here. You know, with them fucking dungarees on and that. You know, with the summertime.
I thought, fucking hell, he's taking the piss out of Johnny.
Minister, didn't you have an American get back to you and say, thinking that you were an American or something?
I've had a few comments of people thinking it was actually real.
I heard you had a comment for an American guy saying, "I think you're gorgeous, cousin."
No, that was you, Joker. That was you.
No, that was drama.
Oh, what a drama! Oh God.
The drama where he's painted nails. He's got, I got black nails. I'm saying it's true, Mr. Ministry.
I'm going to do some filming today, Michelle, at some point. Might be when I take the dog, so I'll be embarrassing my brothers by fucking acting like a twat with my tripod. What's that, JJ?
You're right, JJ. Sounds like some cunt just grabbed you by the behind, covered your mouth there.
Somebody's got him by the balls.
Right. So I'm going to show you something.
Go on. Let's have a look.
This is why you shouldn't get old.
Oh, here we go. What
Can
the
you see
fuck's that? What is that?
That's my medications that I have to take.
Oh, right. Yeah. Fucking hell.
Fucking hell. JJ, that's only one fucking bag, bro.
Fucking one bag. What, once a week I have to take all that shit. Look at it. Look into my belly. Look. It's once a week. No wonder why I've got fucking hernias coming at me. Wrong.
No wonder you're feeling sick all the time, JJ.
Tell me about it.
Eating too much talc.
Yeah. It's the talc and the
All them
tablets.
gelatin tablets, man.
Tell them you want rugby balls.
Pick up the talc.
Jesus Christ, look at it. I don't know what to do about it. And this is, I've only ordered the tablets, yeah. All the other stuff I didn't get because I didn't need it. I've got tons of it. Normally the free bags of fucking all the needles, the sharps, and all the fucking, I don't know.
You're just prepping, JJ, man. You're just prepping.
You know the one. Yeah. We gave up the additional drugs and went onto the pharmaceuticals. You know what I mean, Joe? You know what I mean, son?
got to keep it real. Got to keep it real.
Yeah, I went on to using my brain and keeping it legal as well. You know what I mean, mate?
They said it would help to make the voices go away. I shouldn't laugh, man. I shouldn't laugh.
What the fuck are these? Everything. Oh, yeah, that's like them. Oh, got to have my aspirin for my heart.
Oh, you got that shit.
Respirodon, citalopram.
Oh, look, citalopram, legal eckies.
You know the ones, son. You know the ones you're away.
Chemical compound MDXX.
Ooh.
Mike Delta X-ray.
Help you with your depression. Help you with your depression. So they keep the nuts away.
What was it to tell me? They'll bring back your joy. A little bit of research. I was like, fucking get done for fucking taking these out there, man. You fucking please do not drive or operate machinery because you'll be flying out your fucking nuts. Take 20 milligrams of citalopram and go out and party. But it's fucking true, man. It's fucking true. That's one of the reasons why I go. Honestly, that's one of the reasons why I left my wife, right? Because I was living with a wife, right? I was on that shit. Like literally on the citalopram, that's what the doctor gave me. I got locked up for 9 months and I didn't need them in the jail.
Fuck. I'll tell you what I'm saying? That pissed me off when they took you off your meds that time and wouldn't give you them back. I was fuming. That done my head in.
I did, but you know how it is. Every once in a while, you get a new person who thinks they came, but they're thought about better than the last one and wants to just fucking play about with you.
Well,
what they've done to you, Joe. You know it was. I'll tell you what. You should have been able to sue them for what they fucking done because they could have put you and others at arm for doing that.
Still
and that was their fucking problem. It wasn't you. They took you fucking off them. They knew full well what you was going to have to go through. So that could have killed you, and you could have gone into a fucking complete psychotic breakdown and killed people.
But the thing is, right, after being on them for like 5 years, they cold turkeyed me, JJ. The legislation and the rules say they're supposed to take anything between 3 and 9 months, depending on how many years it's been, because they bracket it. Like if it's 1 to 3 years, it's this time we've got to line them down. If it's been up to 6 years, it's this amount of time to wean them off them. If it's this, they've got to do this to take them off them. Otherwise, going cold turkey for anything ain't good. But that's what it is, man.
You had a fucking case for libel there, mate. I'm telling you, you have a big case.
Yeah,
Well,
to be honest,
to be fair, it depends. Like the Scottish government's fucked. Yeah, of course. It could still be problematic, but then it'll take up to 6 months to bed back in again, if that makes sense. So if there's a day I forget to take my meds, I might be off, if that makes sense, aye? Because I didn't there is days you forget, you know what I mean? It is what it is, you know what I mean? But after about 6 months, if you miss a day, it's still in your system, if you get what I mean. It's still there. It's only if you start rotating them for a week, you start getting shit.
That turns you into a fucking killing machine, to be honest. Either harmful to yourself or other people. So they put people and yourself at a lot of risk there.
But I told them at the start. I was like, because they said it's because there was no fight or flight, right? If anybody come the cunt, I would just sit there laughing at them, like whatever, until they touch me. If you get what I mean. And at which point I'd totally change.
That's a load of bollocks. There's no flight when it coming to that kind of withdrawals. There's no flight.
But I told them straight, I says, look, I got given that because there was no flight in the first place. First instance, there'd always just be, go fuck yourself, cunt. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. So I got given them specifically for that, you know, because it shuts your subconscious down the Risperidone. It's actually an ADHD and schizophrenia medication, to be fair. Yeah. So it shuts your subconscious down, right? Which for me, it stops me overanalyzing things. If that makes sense. It stops me from getting into a stage where I get that interested in something, researching it, that I'm awake for 5 days. Aye. You know, so
they go on and on and on, and they become obsessed with
circular arguments. Aye. You know what I mean? So they're just arseholes, man. It's just because they're expensive, GG. That's all it is. It's because they're expensive. Like, you know.
Fucking expensive. Really expensive. Human life. So they put that above all human life.
At the end of the day, it is what it is. It's done now. I've spent a year proving the point. Like, nah, I'm gonna need that shit.
You were proper ill though, mate. I remember the teardown of what was going on with you, and it was making you ill, and that's wrong. They deliberately, I think they don't use you as a guinea pig, to be honest, the cunts.
No, probably observing you. At the end of the day, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Nothing's going to change it. Aye, they just need to deal with the consequences of it.
I reckon you should take them a call. That might help change it. They get a few quid out of it. When they start having to pay money out to someone, that makes them think again before doing it.
I get that, but then it's just taking money out of the NHS. That's what it's doing. You get what I'm saying? It's just taking money off the NHS. So, it's a catch-22. I've already had a lawyer that's like, listen, you need to think about if you want to sue these people. But I'm like, if it's the NHS you're suing, I'm not keen on that. If it's the individual, then fair play, I'll go and take his house. Fuck you cunt. But that's a different kind of... but you get what I'm saying? It's a fair comment, you know what I'm saying? Like, I tell that cunt, like, this isn't going to end badly. I'm going to get arrested, you fucking clown. He was like, we'll cross that bitch when we come here. And I was like... Now I'll know. I'll not be on the bridge, you cunt. I'll be in the fucking water, and you'll be sitting there going, and if you think you're going to visit me in the jail, you'll be getting barred.
Get it down to an individual to sue. I mean, because there must have been an individual making the decisions over that. There must have been someone you can go to direct and say, no, I don't want to take this firm. I want to take this individual man, the man that fucking signed that bit of paper that done that, and I want the money to come out of his pocket.
Well, to be fair, I mean, I think you can do that with the old bill. I don't know if you can do it with the NHS. I don't know if they're actually like semi-protected, do they? I honestly would need to look into it. But then the lawyer I'm dealing with already broke this up, eh? You know what I mean? Because it is what it is. So I'll just sit and deal with what I need to deal with up until a point, because you only have like 2 years to make a claim, eh? Like, I've had my collarbone broken off the Polish, JJ, and I didn't make a claim against them either.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't yourself. You make claims against cunts. It's just going to make it worse.
Yeah, I've never made claims against any of them, but I've never had that kind of injustice done to me that you had. To take your meds away like that, that was fucking. There was someone at the end of that fucking line, like writing them bits of paper saying, "No, we've got to take him off," and not giving you or the public a fucking second thought.
That's a fair comment, man. You know.
A second fault. They were just sitting there signing off saying, no, we can take this one. They didn't give any consideration to your welfare or other people's welfare, what that could do to you. You know, I mean, it just bears belief that people can just do that, sit at the end of the line and make a decision without knowing your conditions or what you're capable of or what could happen. It's fucking terrible. It don't make sense. That's not a glitch in the fucking system. That's some fucking arrogant, egotistical cunt thinking they know better than yourself.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to call this live now, guys. I've been 3 hours.
All right, son. Catch you later then, mate. See you later.
See you
Thanks
later,
for having
mate.
the chat this morning. God bless you all, mate. See you later.
Cheers, guys.
See you later, Treasure. See you later, Joker. Take care, Mystery, yeah?
Yeah, cheers, AJ. Cheers for coming on. Yeah, alive with a lot of good discussion this morning, and it got a little bit heated, but don't think anything out of control unless something happened for the 5 minutes I was muted for a couple. Big up Sly News. Yeah, make sure to clip it. But yeah, cheers everyone for watching. I'm just gonna play a video and be gone. I've got a few things to do and there's some Chuck videos to make, so here we are.
Thank you fuckers for watching. Now piss off and find a less boring stream and recover some of the brain cells you lost while watching Ministry of Madness.
You need to leave!
I think you'd better do what it says, Mr. Kennedy.
You now have 15 seconds to comply. You are